what the Alliance tier 3, when you had to ban a certain number of heroes, but they would always get something. That's kind of Team Liquid.
That's one of the coolest things about competition is it's like a conversation. Your opponent is going to get to do something, right? They are going to be able to get one of the heroes they want. Their team will be strong at some aspects, and it's about trying to figure out where yours slot in. I mean, talk to me about these first picks. Team Secret, Pilot Die, Rubik, and Spear.
I mean, Rubik is just that's like their secret zone version of the Coddles and stuff. Yapster plays a really good Rubik, and they've noticed that Rubik can actually play as a 4, like these other, like Sanking, these heroes with a stun. Rubik is one of the few range heroes, like with the same insta stun.
So he steals the other melee hero's stun, and then he's got 2 disables, right?
Infinite disables for the first pick.
Yeah, so he might actually be a bit of an underrated 4 right now. And then like the Spirit Breaker is because possibly good against Coddle. But I don't know, when GH plays the Coddle,
it's like a different hero.
It just seems to work out every time, right?
I imagine, so both teams, Liquid dropping down to the losers bracket, Secret winning from the best of ones. I believe that's even until they actually do a coin flip to determine who gets first pick. So I would imagine Team Liquid, they can either choose first pick, second pick, Radiant or Dire. I imagine they chose first pick. Secret then choosing Radiant. Next game, I imagine will be switched up, but they will, and then if there is a game 3, they'll do another coin flip.
Interesting.
That will determine who gets first pick, because that is the power pick. I'm pretty sure if Puppey had first pick in this situation, he would have picked Coddle for himself as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can deny Wisp, Coddle, and Earthshaker.
Because that is what IG did. They didn't take the Coddle for themselves, but they got the Shaker. They got the first pick, then they took the Shaker, and the other game that they beat them was when they picked up this Night Stalker. They gave the Coddle away and took the Night Stalker. But now we see the Liquid are they're preparing for this already. So they're banning out this Night Stalker and Nyx. Just so even when they get their Coddle, they know it'll be at its full potential, because these 2 heroes kind of make Coddle's life a bit harder. But now they kind of get, I think they get what they want here in Liquid.
Now Bristleback has, I believe this is the 3rd time in 4 total games that Mind Control will be on Bristleback, and a lot of his success comes down to how well he's been able to do in lane. If he has the great start, we saw that was the game that Team Liquid was able to have a very strong win at yesterday. But when he doesn't have farm, he's almost like a dud hero. Doesn't even exist in a lot of the fights.
Yeah, but with the Coddle and combination in lane, it's pretty difficult to shut down the Bristleback, so I imagine he's going to have a pretty decent laning phase.
I actually thought about this Necro though, because this is something I remember back in the day, back like a few months ago, when we were playing against Team Secret, everyone was playing this Coddle Bristle, and their counter to it is the Necrophos, because you build up so many wands against this hero, this Bristleback, and just if you ever just go into your second skill as a Necrophos, all you need is a wand, and you're set. You can sustain that lane alone, so it kind of negates a lot of what Coddle Bristle does. So that's one lane where they can't go, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Coddle can give so much mana to Bristleback, I mean, Necrophos, the fact that what is the multiplier on his self-heal when he uses his second ability? It's like 2x, 3x?
I don't know what it is, but when he uses it, he'll use the magic stick as well, and he'll be full.
And heal, yeah. He goes from pretty much like 5% to full.
The weird thing though is like, Necrophos should really not be a good hero against Coddle. With the mana leak and then like high nukes early game. Because I think what Liquid are going to end up doing here is they're going to basically tri-lane it. And like then they'll do that for a couple of minutes, and like if you're not careful, like level 1 Necrophos, like you don't got no stick, you don't have no W, like you're not doing anything.
We'll just have to wait and see, Mr. Pilot X. I don't know if I agree with you.
Yeah, I was on the kind of also.
Because we'll see how, like, Secret are going to pick a hero, right? And then Liquid are going to get one counter matchup here.
I'm sure Necrophos will get a little help. I don't think he'll be left alone.
Yeah. No, they'll try. They'll tri-lane versus tri-lane, but they have quilts and they have a 200 nuke.
Also, we talked a bit about we saw the Miracle video there, and now we have a 10K here. So
Yeah.
10 seconds.
What I think Secret can do, and to address what you were discussing as well, maybe their try-retry is a little bit weaker. But what they can have Rubik kind of help Necrophos and just have them survive that lane, and then Puppey on the Spirit Breaker can roam between the other lanes and force rotations out of Team Liquid's trial. Yeah. So picking up this Queen of Pain, a very aggressive hero in lane who can blink onto his opponent, hit him with the Shadow Strike, and with the Spirit Breaker charge in, it'll be difficult for Team Liquid's solo heroes to exist on lane.
Mid 1, 99% chance going to be on Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, again, I've never heard a mid player not like playing Queen of Pain. It's nice, deals a lot of damage, great escapes.
This is Phantom Monster, right?
I think Secret are kind of lacking in tower damage right now. They need a hero to kind of be able to break towers. At some point they're gonna have to, and it's Kezu's hero. And I'm not exactly sure which tower hitters he plays. I know he used to play a lot of Abaddon.
I know
back in the day.
Yeah, Abaddon. I've also seen him play some Lone Druid.
Right. Do you think Lone Druid is good here though?
No.
No,
They could
don't feel like it, right?
Furion.
They're still gonna be, yeah.
But they're going to
Prophet
wait
could
too. They want a good lane matchup as well. So, but yeah, they're going to need some build.
They could even do. I mean, I still feel like they could even do offlane Necro or something a little bit out of left field like that.
I feel like they wanna put that Necrophos against the Coddle Bristle.
Certainly, certainly. But then if you know that Coddle and Bristle are going to another lane,
Right.
other lanes don't. They become 1v1 lanes or 1v2 at the worst. They're not really these traditional offlane versus the tri lane.
Yeah, I get it.
Ursa. Now, where do you think Ursa's going to be fitting into Team Liquid's lineup?
Matoma Man's gonna be playing him most likely in the safe lane.
They do switch things up a bit though. We've seen that a few times. The Matoma Man has gone mid with Ursa, but I don't really expect him to go mid with Ursa against Bob, and especially not with this Spirit Breaker and potential of Rubik.
This is one of the tougher picks in the draft phase for any team. The fourth pick, when you have the first pick, you have to, first off, you pick your fourth hero, the other team bans, and then you ban, and then you pick your fifth. So you pick the Ursa in this fourth position because either you don't have to worry about showing your fifth hero because you have to show it before they react.
Yeah.
But you pick the Ursa because you're afraid of the other team banning it. And I don't really think Secret would have banned it because I don't think Ursa really matches up well against any of these heroes.
Oh, I see. Because there's two bans following it. The fourth pick is sort of a protection pick in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
You don't think that they like the Fusel Ursa against the Necro though?
That was what I was
right?
going to say.
Because
Diffusal is a really great item on Ursa, and you can pick that up quickly to
Oh gosh, yeah.
dispel the ethereal form from Necrophos.
yeah, I'm curious to see here what the Team Secret goes for in the last. I think Abaddon is maybe one of those heroes that they might go back for, and that was actually something that I was thinking about also because back when they did have a lot of success, I think Kezu was playing that hero a lot. He played Omni Knight a bit and Enigma, and he played a lot of these farming heroes that eventually do scale a bit, and I feel like that suits him.
Any hero in particular you're looking at by for either side?
Oh, I'm just trying to think about his Ursa, man. I guess you're going to snowball on this Necro.
What do you think Miracle would want up against this Queen of Pain matchup mid?
I thought it really wanted a Phantom Master. Secret Bandit now.
5 seconds remaining.
It's very thrown off by this Ursa, man. I'm just looking at her.
What about Ursa?
I mean, it's something they're like. I was thinking, yeah, maybe they go an aggro with the Ursa, but that's not good at all.
I mean, who even are mids that are solid against Queen of Pain in terms of matchup?
Puck is fine.
They can do some Dragonite and stuff like that. But
Dragon Knight's good too.
DK against Necro is a little bit iffy though, but yeah, DK could potentially work.
Instant pick.
yeah,
Quick pick.
A
Puck makes
nice,
sense.
a nice silence for good against Necro, good against Queen.
It's hard to play Spirit Breaker against as well. Kind of.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to bash a Puck.
Yeah, charge a Puck.
Phase shift out.
Rubik though, instantaneous disable for Puck. Very good throughout the game. Easily lift Puck and Necro ult him and burst him.
So what's the big thing missing for Team Secret in their final pick?
We're about to find out.
Oh, that's
right.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
It's nice.
they're doing.
That is that Necro or Queen of Pain offlane for
Yeah.
Kezu, so
Right.
Score
score one for me.
It actually looks like it's MP on Quap, so it might actually be a safe lane, or
Yeah.
is he gonna go mid?
We've seen Necrophos in all lanes in this tournament.
You want the Draw Ranger to be protected.
Yes.
Right? And Queen of Pain in the side lane can easily get away from any Tusk Shards or Snowballs, so that makes sense to me.
This is kind of curious though. So is mid one then? He's playing the draw, I assume.
Most likely.
Because I don't see Kezu playing a draw ranger, right?
I agree. That's a Necrophos for
Yeah.
Kezu.
Yeah.
Well, we still haven't found out who mid one is going to be stepping into, but we'll be finding out in moments. Casters, take it away for game one with Team Secret versus Team Liquid.
It's a curveball here, Lumi, to round out the draft. I think we saw this at TI6, actually, that the times even first or second. Drow is not really at that point right now, and she does slip through here.
Yeah, she's kind of hit or miss. We've been seeing a lot more misses this TI round, and that's why, like you said, it's deep in this draft. This draft does feel very awkward. I feel like our panels and ourselves as well are not sure about how these lanes come. Things are a little bit awkward, Panel talked about how the Ursa can be big, getting the Diffusal Blade and going right on top of the Necropulse. But this is an off-lane Necro, so perhaps you know, you don't have to worry about him as much. He's not going to get as much farm or experience.
So many comfort picks in this draft,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's a Rubik first phase. The Rubik just keeps on moving up in the draft. There was a point where they were picking it at the very end, either 4th or 5th. But then it started to be like, you know, maybe your 3rd pick into the draft, and now it's first phase. Pretty soon it's going to be first overall or first band if YapzOr keeps on delivering. And, you know, as I look at this match, I think it is worth mentioning that 3 of the fan favorite teams, at least 2 of them, you know, I think favorites in most people's books to go deep in the tournament, are all probably going to be forced to skill the blink and jump away. Early harass taken here by the Queen of Pain, but Puppey revs up the charge. They want to secure this bounty rune. He is going to back down. Mid 1 ultimately will be handling the Drow. It's an offlane quap that leaves Kezu safe as the Necro.
Huh.
Are you surprised at all by the laning setup here?
Quite a bit, because I think the offlane quap, especially now that, you know, they know that she's still blink, she has pretty much no power to really take over the lane. So they're going to charge on mind control. Not sure whether they could actually succeed, get the kill. They're going to lift him back, give him the heal.
They're going to try, but these quills are slowly stacking up. They're not that scary at level 1, and Secret's persistence pays off. Big grab for them. The Drow are likely the difference maker there with a bit of plus damage over a sustained period of time.
But very good block here on Marigold in the mid lane. Look at how Drow can't even actually walk up the lane CS. I mean, she can, but she'll just eat a lot of harass while doing so. This mid Drow to me is going to be really, really hard. This is reason number 1. Curl is going to just be a huge annoyance.
Uh-oh. Miracle's actually got to be a little careful. There's a lift available. This charge is coming in. Hot and heavy. They've got the physical damage, and he goes down. Puppey coming in again with the punish. Could be a storyline this game as Curl almost dies as well. There isn't a whole lot to deal with this charge, especially early. Yeah. And it was a first, you know, 2nd overall pick, I believe, on the Spirit Breaker. Like, they grabbed it first, too. There's plenty of time to pick heroes that can deal with it, but Puppey already off to the races.
Yeah, I believe we casted a Team Secret game during the group stage, and they, again, just early picked Spirit Breaker. It wasn't effective at all in that last game because the opponent just drafted around the Spirit Breaker, made sure that you have an ample amount of stuns, but Team Liquid evidently more worried about other stuff, and the Spirit Breaker is going to be effective this game.
I think later on, he may fall off a lot because at that point the puck becomes very elusive, right? You have the snowball save in the larger fights as they do. Again, make their move onto this puck. The silence has already been skilled up, and Miracle may go down. He will again. It's the trifecta for Puppey. But yeah, in theory, Lumi, right? Later on, Bristle is great against the charge because he's just so tanky. You don't really want to go on him first, in theory. The Ursa also has the Enrage to kind of get out of that. You have the Snowball save, puck is elusive, but this early game, there's really not great solutions for Puppey's movement.
And because they're doing so well on the mid lane, Team Secret is able to force a 1v1 for the top lane. You know, you were asking me, how is this Queen going to do? I thought she was going to be in a 1v2 situation and she's not going to get a lot, but look at her, 1v1 against a melee hero, 2 points into Shadow Strike. It's going to be Matumba Man, actually, that's having a tough time in the lanes.
Well, a mild advantage now for Secret with the 3 kills, stretching to about 1,000 golden experience. Let's take a moment here as it seems the full-on kills will slow down. Puppey out of mana, so no charges coming until he gets this clarity, but or some sort of mana regen. But what are the overall game plans for these 2 respective lineups? How do they look to execute heading towards the mid-game?
Well, whenever you have a Drow lineup like Team Secret does, you definitely want to pull ahead in the laning stage. They have done that mostly from the mid lane. And of course, getting levels for your support is going to be absolutely crucial for Team Secret as well. Rubik wants level 6. Spirit Breaker definitely wants level 6 as well. And of course, step number 3 for Team Secret is make sure that you can protect your Drow Ranger in the mid-game by getting items that could put her away from the enemy heroes. There's a lot of gap closers from the side of Team Liquid. You got the Snowball in, you got the Blink Puck, you got the Blink Ursa. So multiple Force Staffs needs to be farmed on the side of Team Secret.
MP getting his levels in the soft lane, but still under duress as Kuroki coming in. Took quite a few Fury Swipe auto attacks. The Ursa has excellent move speed, so was able to close the gap, but they make the rotation now. Puppey, as well as Yap, grouping up. There is a ward here scouting out this movement, so Secret, the top lane, probably not one they can find easy kills on. This will open things up for Miracle as comes back mid. He's still right there in CS, and in fact, CS overall going pretty well for Liquid. Mind Control getting a ton out of the off lane in the 2v1, as you would expect. And up top, even still Matumba Man, even on CS with the Queen of Pain, despite the Drow aura. It's not by any means a complete rout here early, just the kills that are really dictating the advantage.
Yep, meanwhile, the game plan for Team Liquid moving forward, every time they draft the Keeper of the Light on GH as well as the Bristleback together, it's just group up and push.
Get that eggs.
Yeah, it might not come in 15 minutes, but it will come as soon as the Aghanims is finished. Generally around the 18 to 22 minute mark, you get the mech on the Bristle or a pipe, you know, any kind of good group up and pushing item, and Team Liquid will just bring the fight to you. Remember that game 2 yesterday we casted versus IG? As soon as they finish the Aghs, the game just turned into a different phase of the game.
They're trying to cinch this noose on Matumba Man as they wrap around. Puppey in the trees. They don't have the vision right now. He pokes his head out, but continues to play it safe. So seems to recognize something is up. Finally, the charge goes elsewhere. It's on to Kuroki. 2 old friends about to butt heads, and YapzOr coming in with that bonus drow damage. Will they have enough to get the kill here? They're certainly going to try to make Kuro's life sad. Gets lifted up, tossed back down, still holds the snowball, but now the drow joins the party, and Kuro gets ganged up on. He'll fall. Miracle has to back away.
I think Kuro, the reason he kept walking towards this hill, he wants to ice shard across the ramp and get vision and then snowball away. But didn't go for the move.
Top lane, meanwhile, big dive on the Matumba Man, and Puppey does it again. 5 charges, 5 kills.
Well, so far, I gotta say, there's a battle between the captains. Puppey's winning it. He single-handedly winning the mid lane, which is allowing him to win the top lane as well.
If he wasn't getting these charges, I think Secret would be getting run over. They're still down on CS almost across the board.
Yeah, and that's with Drow Aura.
That's with Drow Aura, and that's with the 5 kills. Crucial that he's having this fantastic start.
Now, we do see Necro being matched up against the Bristleback a lot of times. And I think the bottom lane is showing why Necro is generally considered as a quote-unquote a good counter to the Bristleback. Obviously, Reaper Scythe is a good answer in terms of killing the Bristleback, but also you have a lot of Magic Wand charges readily available to you. And like something that Panel brought up is you pop that Ghost Shroud and then you just heal back to full. 1.75 amplification when it comes to the heal. KheZu shouldn't die too much in the lane stage.
Yeah, Liquid, at least in this particular dual lane, don't have any way to stop that. No silence down here, no stun of any kind. Perhaps with a rotation from a core, they could change the equation. It's looking relatively good here early for Secret. They do jump out to a bit of a lead. See our 6-minute runes spawning soon. The Radiant Scan comes out. Perhaps trying to detect if that Keeper Light is stacking and actually mind control the one to do it. As he will drag creeps away, and he not get the next stack, just a tiny bit late. Still though, fairly big chunk of gold here available to be claimed. Is that something you see Secret looking to contest? Like, can they run into the Ancients and take fights there?
Not without destroying the tier 1 bottom and getting a kill right before that. And honestly, their heroes are not very good at skilling stacks. I mean, Queen of Pain could Scream, and KheZu could maybe Death Pulse, but probably not. I think Team Liquid will be getting away with that stack.
Miracle has hit 6 now, so they give the mid lane, at least initially, to YapzOr charge. Coming through, they get the lift off, they time it just right with the charge, but now Kuro comes in. Could get the snowball save, he is going to dodge the stun, but he rolls his buddy forward. Miracle has the Invis rune. We'll get back to safety.
Wow.
Even the shard block, Kuro showing. He learned a thing or two. They're still chasing though. Now the charge in again, just got the vision. Puppey committed with the bash. He gets the edge again, 6-0. Puppey has been in every single kill.
I mean, the sad thing for Kuro is that he did everything right there. He snowballed to save the puck. He made sure that he got the shard off.
He dodged the Drow silence as well.
Everything, but
didn't matter.
Yeah, the chase was there, 3v2 advantage. And this shows you the weakness of the Keeper of Light in terms of being able to have a plan B, right? Normally when your other lanes are having trouble, you know, you could rotate your support, but Keeper is just not that type of hero. He just have to worry about his own game plan.
They are giving this mid lane to YapzOr. He goes in again with the lift. Now the silence coming out. Charge, but it's a long way to dive, and they actually do get ushered away, even forcing out a TP reaction. Matumba Man wants to join the party. Puppey instantly snapping the coil. And Matumba Man is going to back off. Seems he may rotate bottom instead. And there's no Radiant Vision. This KheZu could be in danger, but remember, he does have the Ghost Shroud. He's got a full wand. With the Rain of Health, with the max Death Pulse, the heal will be enormous. And while Diffusal Blade later on could be a solution, KheZu doesn't have too much to worry about now as that bottom rune spawns. Puppey again with the charge. He goes onto GH. He is real committed, and he keeps on finding these kills. Another takedown. Give Puppey 7. Somebody stop this man already. Finally, it's YapzOr who pays the price. Normally
Puppey.
the other way around, and now Puppey on the run. He's got to charge out of here. Could be his ticket home. No mana on Kuro. He's going to have to move soon, though. He goes for the man fight. Charge out. Snowball was not available. Lacks the mana for it. Pretty rare you see YapzOr die. Normally it's like his core dies mid, and he's the one just soaking up the experience.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's playing the squishy Rubik.
This is a role reversal. He's usually the one dying repeatedly, and YapzOr just
Puppey's
raking in the gold and the experience. Charging in again. Why not? Fool me once, fool me twice, but fool me 7 times. Make it 8. A clinic from El Capitan.
I'm surprised that Miracle got hit by that. Yeah, sure, it came from fog, it came from an awkward angle, but generally he's, you know, that very mechanically skilled player that could phase that kind of initiation. But
Now top. Woo! MP
Sonic Wave.
Scoring the kill. Puppey there just for a little moral support.
You know, coming in here, I think a lot of people say, look, Team Liquid is perhaps the better team. They did better in the group stage, but if there's one thing that this TI has taught me is group stage is just behind us now, you know. What matters is this one best of 3, and Puppey is doing a very excellent job at putting his team ahead in this game 1.
So Secret have had a fantastic start, Lumi. That's the big secret here. What is the next step for them? You mentioned they're a pushing lineup. Are they ready to start pushing? Do they group up? Do they split push? Are they waiting on certain items? Like, what is the next step in the master plan here?
They want to be able to push in a very safe manner. You don't want to push and then have Ursa jump in the middle of you and just die. So first, you want to have Force Staff on pretty much all of your heroes. As we see a charge going right on Miracle, there's that phase dodge. And now Puppey might be in a little bit of trouble. Coil's going to get used, and they have the double damage on Miracle. It's activated. Puppey might be giving away a kill. He does. That is a killing spree streak. And now YapzOr, perhaps a little bit of trouble. He goes in. Silence, not going to hit, and not going to be enough here, as now he's taking a ton of right-click damage. Mid-1, revenges his captain.
Miracle, death number 4. He had a terrible showing against IG in the upper bracket. Just, you look like he had the Monkey King game where he was really underfarmed the whole time. Game 3, even, he felt just a bit low impact. They got his Invoker in game 1. That didn't work out. And again, struggling here. Like, the game plan has been prey on Miracle, keep him off balance, and so far, it seems to be working. Can this puck come back? Is trying to rush towards the Veil. And certainly Liquid, a very mid-game focused enough, right? Like, they've got the Ursa as a core, they're not running a hard carry, they're running a Bristleback off lane. All these heroes want to take skirmishes around this 10 to 20 minute mark.
They're very reliant on that early blink on the puck. Because, you know, look at your damage swords. It's a Bristleback as well as an Ursa. You need some form of control to allow these heroes to go in and dish out the damage. And that's supposed to be Miracle, and to a certain extent, the Tusk. The fact that Miracle is so far behind now just means that, you know, your allies are just going to be that much less effective. So I think a lot is riding on the Miracle puck, and so far he's not delivering.
Right, it's not like, oh, he's dying a lot, but he's not really an important part of their game.
Right. And normally when Miracle is having a tough game, he's on heroes like Invoker, who buys Midas, who could use Sunstrike as a catcher mechanism. But Puck, I know, it's just tough. You just got to hit creeps.
You pick Puck to have a solid early game.
Right.
Especially if you're going to commit it to mid and commit a Tusk to trying to support him. At any rate, Miracle will have to claw his way back into the game. Meanwhile, YapzOr does manage to steal the level 3 shards. Given that Secret picked it up so early, Lumi, I want to ask you, like, how good of a Rubik game does it look to you right now? Do you think this is a game where YapzOr can have that huge impact and take over?
In terms of the spells that he could steal, there's not anything like game breaking, like Fissure or you know,
Sand Stun.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But it's more about his positioning. Ice Shard to me is probably the most game breaking spell. Like, he could also have, I think, Chakra Magic is pretty decent for himself or for his ally. But it's more about the fact that when you pick it first pick for your team, you don't give away any strategy, you know? Rubik is...
Here we go. Trying to set up on Kuro here. The charge comes through. The lift is timed right, but Puppey gets pushed out of the shards. The shards are saving grace until MP rushes in. He's got his ult available. They're going to have to chain him down. They can't quite do it. Even the uppercut, probably not enough. MP could dive for Kuro. He doesn't have the blink ready. Now he does. And he will blink away to safety. Probably could have saved that scream, blinked on Kuro, gotten the kill. May have paid with his life, though. And MP, normally a very low-risk, safe player. He is the space creator for this team. He's going to score them a kill there. So tier 1 down mid now, and Secret off to the races with that 6,000 gold advantage. They start to group up. They start to threaten towers. Liquid not looking like they want to contest this, at least not yet.
They can't contest it. Honestly, I don't think they're able to fight into Team Secret right now. At best, they should go for tower trades. They are. Ice Charge on the mid lane finds mind control. The charge is going to be in there. They have the lift available as well. No Sonic Wave though. They will have the Reaper Scythe, and it's going to fly up and chop his head.
Easily dealt with. He had about 1,200 gold there, but hadn't spent it yet, so a whole lot squishier. Had not picked up the cloak, and meanwhile, in the Roche pit, a crucial time for Matumba Man to get bashed, but mid one, not wise to it. He will snag that Aegis. They'd rather go for this Kuroki kill. Snowballing up, trying to roll away. Puppy's there. Just needs a bash to score the kill with MP's help. Not even the bash required, as it turns out. So while they get the Roche, really have to ask, is it even worth it for Liquid, giving up so much else elsewhere?
I think they were going to give up those kills regardless. And it was lucky for Matu that he didn't get bashed to death by Roshan. It looked like that might have happened. But
what's going to stem the bleeding for Liquid? You mentioned the puck blink. He does opt to get it now, delays the Veil, which Miracle was choosing for, or initially aiming for. Is this it? Is this blink going to change the game?
It has to. It's looking like it's going to be harder and harder as there are more and more Force Staffs being built on the side of Team Liquid. And GH is not rushing towards that Aghanim Scepter either. He feels so in danger by these heroes that he has to go for a Force Staff himself. So that timing push I talked about that Team Liquid will eventually go for, that is also delayed.
Tumba Man, he just got done picking up this Aegis, and now he's about to lose it. Charge gives the vision with the help of the creeps, and the kill secured. Now grabbing the overpower. Get ready for this coil. But Miracle comes in, drops the 4-hero coil. No follow-up whatsoever. Does get Fuzzy Wuzzy back to safety, but still Aegis blown. And all the while, Drow farming away. It's still Secret on offense. Miracle pulling out all the stops just to slow down this push. And to be fair, it is tough to push into the Keeper, tough to push into the puck. But nonetheless, the rest of the map can be farmed freely.
Not if you kill heroes first.
Insta-smoke. And now the move onto Matumba. No vision right now. But they might get it soon. They've got that ward, and he just walks in range of it. Puppy set up. He thinks about the jungle. Doesn't have the vision out, but they know he's up the hill. Dire vision is lacking down this ramp. They could probably catch him out, and Yapzor's the first man up. He actually lifts the Bristle instead, pulling him back. And they say, no, we don't want to go on these tanks. Let's chill.
Yeah. I think if he lifted the Ursa, maybe he could force a kill, but I think Bristleback was the first person he saw.
Very risky around the shrine to be overcommitting there.
Well, I'm glad that Miracle has not gone for the standard Veil first. Instead, he goes back to the Blink. I already issued, how important it is for him to set up ganks for his allies. But it's still, they need a little bit more here from Team Liquid. They need the Ursa Blink, and they need Mind Control to get tanky. For Team Liquid, if they could make sure that the game stays the way it is now, where they don't give up too many kills, yeah, sure, they're getting out-farmed, and maybe they're losing a tower every once in a while, but they just need time. They're getting a little bit of it right now.
Yapzor lurking in the tree line mid. Loves to rush the Blink on the Rubik, but this game he is picking up the Yules, and I mean, what a great Yules game it is with the puck silence. You've also got the Ursa with just the constant threat of that burst damage. A good way to kite him and control him. So is opting to change up the build here.
Yeah, very strong defensive item against the Silence, like you mentioned. Mono Leak in the future. Ursa jumping on you is also good.
Here we go. Mind Control in the mid lane, showing himself, and Liquid are going to summon the reinforcements. GH crying out to his team to come and defend, but it's slow chip work being done here. Tumba Man TP's home. Secret still holding the high ground. Back to safety. They'll shove out this top lane. Only lost the 1 tower so far. 2-tower advantage for them around the map.
I think we're starting to see perhaps a weakness of Team Secret's draft. They're ahead so much. They've done so well in the laning stage, yet they're really unable to punish Team Liquid for kind of this slow and perhaps somewhat greedy game plan.
Their only initiation really is the charge for now.
I mean, they're picking up a couple Yule Scepter. You talked about Rubik getting one, and Queen of Pain is also getting one. It's not the best initiate, but
Yapzor, the trap sprung mid. MP winding up the ult and getting the punish out. Steals the Waning Rift, catches Miracle off guard. Absol just keeps on styling on him. Impressive stuff. Now looking towards top where they are trying to bring down GH. Really wants to front this X. He's so close to the point booster.
Oh, missing.
MP does miss on the screen, but there's no teleport scroll. The Force Staff's on cooldown. Likely GH still going down. Tries to eat his way through the trees, but one tree stands between him and escape. Will be denied here. Lost quite a bit of unreliable gold too.
Yeah, that hurts when you're trying to, build up towards your Ags. GH is going to be out there. He has to be out there farming towards his Aghanim Scepter, and as a result, he puts himself in harm's way to things like Charge, all of these Yule Scepter initiations, as well as the Queen of Pain.
Secret are definitely being patient here, though, where that early aggression was borderline reckless as far as how committed they were. Now they slow things down. We see Kezu farming up the enemy agents, also in doing so, trying to deny these to the Bristleback. And the rest of the team spreading the map, so they're not really playing with huge urgency, feeling like they have to force the tempo. Now grabbing the Shadow Blade. So again, Secret not particularly committed to items that let them 5v5. They still want to be able to split push here. As the Yule Scepter is now en route. Lots of kiting, lots of ways to just reset fights, Lumi. You mentioned the Ursa, but it's also the Bristleback. Both of these heroes are melee. Both of them need to chase for a while to secure kills, and Secret continue to get better and better at backing away and taking a more favorable engagement.
I think this is the calm before the storm. The next big point of contention is when Roshan is going to be spawning. And look to Kezu. He's trying to finish a Medallion Courage before that happens. If Team Secret could take away the Aegis from the Roshan, or from the Ursa team, that is going to be a big boost to the push.
Oh, speaking of which, Medallion grabbed by the Necro here, so might be a tell that they do indeed want to contest. Obviously evasion, fantastic against Ursa. He wants to upgrade that to a Solar Crest, and now the charge. Puppey finds Kuro. Story of this game. Does it again. Now the lift back, the bash as well, and with the Necro ult, Kuro goes down once more.
Very good chain stun from Team Secret. Make sure that there's no any snowball shenanigans. And I think very important for somehow Team Liquid to get out of the map and play some wards around the Roshan. We're going to see a charge happening on the bottom side against Miracle. He blinks into the trees. He's out.
He's out, but GH, he's not. Gets silenced up. Mid one, gonna take him down solo. It looks like Kezu getting into position with the nuke and will snag the last hit. Secret just constantly finding these pickoffs. 17-2. And Liquid have the run at you draft. I mean, they have the heroes that want to be up in your face, constantly fighting and killing you, and they're just running for dear life.
I mean, this run at you draft doesn't start with minute 0, right? Like, they need items to run at you. And
they're always one item behind, it seems.
Yeah, Bristleback is the truest level 1 running at you.
Link in, big commitment for MP, but he's got the Yules. And now Drow comes in from the side, working on this Ursa, keeping him caged up for now. That Quapo committed. They take the bear down, claws ripped out of his claws, and now Liquid being pursued in full force as MP dives on mind control, forcing him back, turns to just lob out the goo. Yeah, Thor in position. There's the shards. Catchy's done it again, but the Force Staff of GH gets him out of there. Still, towers can't be pushed away. Another one falls to this relentless Secret offense. They turn their attention bottom. They are looking for the last outer tower on the map.
Because they are so far ahead, every time they win these fights, they're not too low in HP. They have an Urn running on Puppey. And they're going to just keep on running, like you said. That's 6 outer tower. I mean, if you talk about the successes of a Drow lineup, this is it, right?
And
22 minutes.
And they've lost 1.
Yeah.
They've only lost that bottom tier 1. 5 tower lead now for Secret. And you talked about the importance of the next Roche. God, it gets hard for Liquid to take it now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real, almost like Cloud9 level Roshan attempt.
This is the Cloud9 one, right? Like, you just go in.
Go in solo.
Hope nothing happens.
We've seen this go several ways in the past. As Matumba Man just prays not to get bad.
It's going well right now.
So far, so good.
Does Puppey have the game sense?
They are caravanning, but it's down towards mid. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how much this Aegis actually matters for Matumba Man. Tries to finish the roast. He will commit his ultimate, scores it, but
get out,
in position. Get out. Puppey's coming through. He blinks to the north. MP on the chase.
They have Yules to pick him up, but he just fogs him. All right, he's fine. I mean, you say how, you don't know how much this Aegis and she's matter, but
it's very important.
It's gold
don't get
and experience that Team Liquid just got, and they are starved on both.
Yeah, we'll see if the Ursa can do much in the next fights, but at the very least, you don't have to worry about killing someone on Secret twice.
Yeah. It's very clear what Liquid's game plan is by the way that they're itemizing. Look at Puck. He goes for Blink and second item, Boots of Travel. This is him trying to say, look, the only way we're going to come back in this game is split push. We have to just get out on the map. Sure, we're going to get caught sometimes by the Drow Ranger with her Shadow Blade, with, by Spirit Breaker with a charge, but we still have to get out there, stretch the map open, and just drag out this game. 10 lead is a lot at this point in the game. Less so in maybe 10 to 15 more minutes.
The 420 strat. That's the plan here. This is gonna
Still though, 19-2, man. This is...
I know. He's got to bide his time for a while. It's a Puck with no Midas, so... And no kills, really, to speak of. Only level 14, 24 minutes. We've seen them a lot higher in past matches. So Liquid, very much tucked back inside their base now. Secret freely roaming out the map. They did complete the Solar Crest on Kazu, so they gain a way to deal with the aggression of this Ursa. Now it looks like he's queuing up the E-Blade. The Diffusal Blade was talked about as a potential tool, but Tumba Man, not even that close to it. Still only has one Blade of Alacrity. It's just Liquid really needing items.
I think the bigger point to talk about is that GH is more than halfway to the Ags. And Team Liquid really plays very differently once they have the Aghanim Scepter on Keeper. You just have a vision advantage all of a sudden, half the time during the game. You get to push. That sustain is pretty powerful. We're going to see a charge to start things off, and this is a smoke charge.
Puppy's running into 5. Kuro will finally exact his revenge, it seems. That was a satisfying uppercut.
Well, Team Secret is going to respawn by just hitting your tier 3. MP just blinks on the high ground, says, I see all 5 of your heroes, you better back up now, and forces at least one TP.
Liquid going for the trade here as they work on that tower, but in the top lane, that catches the Puck. Miracle down again! 6 deaths, only 2 kills to his name. Secret continue to prey on him and now prey on the towers as well. They launch a volley of auto attacks into it,
be a tier
forcing
3.
out the glyph. It might even be more without the Puck, without the buyback.
There are no teleports,
That's their team fight. I mean, we talked about Cloud9, Lumi. No TPs. It's far too much Cloud9 for Liquid's liking now as they try to dive onto mid 1. Kuro the sacrifice. Mind Control now has to back away. The melee Rax is dropping rapidly. Glyph already committed. They pump the damage in. They're about to get the kill and they might get more. Kezu has the ult. Waiting for the moment here. Doesn't want to blow it on the Aegis.
Oh no!
Yul Scepter not timed right. The quad bolt comes through. They still pop that Aegis. They still get the follow-up kill. 4 of Liquid have flown and Puppy once more. Charging in deeper. Looking for the bash on GH. He needs some goddamn help and he's not going to get it. Down he goes. Secret making it look easy against Liquid. The full lane of Rex caved in. It's straight on towards mid.
They're pinging for mid. They don't want to back off. The 2 heroes are dead. Blinking in. Silence. They lift up the Puck. The Puck is dead. Your charge going in. Just disabling multiple heroes.
Another one perhaps as Kuro tries to kick him away, but he pays with his life. Now the tower.
This is game.
In shambles. The game likely over. Liquid are on the verge of elimination after dropping this one. They have no buybacks. They have no miracle. They need more than a miracle now. Already the 3rd lane about to melt. Secret basically flawless here on the big stage. One last fight. That's all they've got in them. They'll come in now with Matumba. Desperation, but quickly kited. Yul's up. Mind Control being slowed. Now the charge forward. The end is nigh. Chewing through the Ursa, he enrages, but he's not going anywhere. They're unafraid. This Necro, ghost form for now, keeps him alive, and they can do naught but walk away. Back to the Rex, back to objective. Secret, melee to drop. Momentarily, Liquid 1 Rex away from being mega'd at 27 minutes. Miracle jumps in, but again, it's the silences. They prove his downfall. They get 1 kill. Hold on. Do they get more? MP now. BKB expended, Scream, commitment, Matumba has fallen, Miracle could be next, just right-clicking him down, Kuro can't do it fast enough, he might die as well, Miracle juking out, taps the shrine, tries to keep Kuro alive, it's a triple for Matumba, Liquid hanging on by a hope, maybe by a prayer, mid 1 whiffs the 4-staff, Hurricane Pike won't get him back to safety, but the Shadow Blade will, and Secret, well, they salvage. I mean, at the end of the day, Lumi, it's GG, and Liquid know it. They get 1 last scrappy fight. But God, Puppey just slaughtered them with that Spirit Breaker.
Do you think this is the draft where, you know, they saw Spirit Breaker second pick, and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to respect it? Because they could easily pick a whole bunch of stunners and be like, hey, you know, you're not going to do much in the laning stage.
I mean, you could see that they had an idea about how to deal with it. They're like, let's pick tanky cores that are very difficult to burst the earth to the bristle, but he caught them off guard too much. The Puck also, while he's very elusive later on, those first couple levels, low-level phase shift or no phase shift, the timing was also great. Like, you have to credit Secret's execution here. They would always time that lift to ensure that the charge hits. And that combo did seem to catch Liquid off guard repeatedly.
I don't think it's just that, too. They also put the mid one Drow Ranger. How often do you put Drow Ranger mid when you have heroes like Queen of Pain as well as Necrophos on your team? The fact that Drow was able to silence to extend that chain stun, if you will, against the Puck was a big part of it. Miracle struggling in the lane. I think he was 1-4 in the laning stage, 0-4. I don't know what the score was, but
I'll honestly say this entire main stage, I have not seen one of those big Miracle like games where he just takes over, outskills his opponents. I mean, he mentioned he just doesn't, he lives in the moment. We saw that from the player profile, but we're not really feeling his presence in the game here, and they need him to step up.
Yeah, a big part of it is, you know, Team Liquid always puts him safe lane sometimes, mid lane some other, but he needs to adapt and fast.
Well, if anyone can get their heads back in the game, it just might be Coach Heen. We'll find out. But right now, Secret have Liquid on the ropes. They lead 1-0.
Story time. We were outside, we analyzed the drafts, and the walks are coming in for Team Secret, and of course the ban on both Coddle and Wisp.
They seem to do this Witch Doctor first pick when they expect the enemy to like him. That's what they did versus
10
Execution.
seconds remaining.
Them open for lots.
We thought maybe Team Secret would lean towards picking Wisp, Coddle, or Shaker themselves, but instead they chose to ban out Wisp and Coddle, and then Team Liquid did them the favor of banning out the Shaker. So all three of the potential power heroes that we discussed in the last draft will not be present in this.
No, I just kind of wanted to talk about like how they've been drafting with this GH, and maybe they like eventually had enough. Like we can't keep first picking this hero and trying to make our lineup work around it. Like Miracle had played like 14 or 15 heroes, different heroes, and they're just trying to fit in to GH's playstyle. And now they're like, yeah, Lycan is a good hero, Night Stalker's a good hero.
Yeah, I mean, this lineup that we see out of Team Liquid, this is exactly what we've been seeing out of a lot of the group stage games. We saw it early in the winners bracket yesterday. Let's go with Night Stalker and Lycan, make sure we have good vision for pickoffs thanks to Night Stalker. Let's make sure we have great push with Lycan, not going for right-click build, but instead favoring the Necronomicon.
Yeah, this is what we saw IG beat Liquid with. They went for the Night Stalker Lycan, and we've seen it like multiple times. Yeah, they did. They had very good execution. I like the Batrider up against the Lycan. In general, it's a very tough lane stage for Lycan to match up against the Batrider. He doesn't have many options. And I'm a little bit surprised, maybe not so much surprised, I'm just curious because Night Stalker is not one of the heroes that I'm used to seeing GH on, but I think he can perform on that hero as well.
He's played it a little bit this tournament, and it is a hero that he can be active and have an impact on, which I do like for him.
I mean, he has 9.8 KMO, right?
Yeah, he can.
Hopefully he can play this Night Stalker.
He can handle it. I think it's. Let's not worry about GH. GH is going to do GH things. I'm worried about the rest of Liquid.
No, I think like I said earlier, right, that maybe they've been drafting too much around GH, but the reason is like, you know, they won these games where he's playing one of these heroes and he's just way too good on them.
How do you feel about the Lycan into the Witch Doctor? You know, Day9 was talking about the Necronomicon making a comeback on this hero, but that cask, the paralyzing cask, stuns those summons for quite a long time.
It goes both the ways though, I feel like. At some point, sometimes when you're this Lycan, you run up to a Witch Doctor and, you know, he disappears.
Yeah,
you know,
2 or 3 shots.
You've been there. You've been there. You know,
I think my
face.
positioning is usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
it doesn't
right.
happen to me.
Gotcha. I think it can go both ways. If the Witch Doctor, if you manage to get to some Ghost Scepter or something, it can be nice, but I think Secret are, they're investing in having good lanes, and I like this approach because I think that's what Team Liquid almost always does. I feel like Team Liquid, they rely a lot on having some quirky heroes that kind of put them ahead in the lane stage, and this allows them some time to get Miracle farm. And with this farm, they kind of take over the game.
This is also where Liquid has really done well in the group stage of this tournament, is this split push, summon style of Dota, and that's exactly what they're going to want here with the Night Stalker and the Lycan. Yeah, we see the bans from Secret, Puppey being so smart banning out both Broodmother and Furion.
I mean, it's like Wisp, Coddle, and Broodmother are all three heroes that we've seen Team Liquid do amazing things with this tournament.
I think Puppy's done a great job this series adapting to his opponents. Even yesterday as well, in their match versus Execration, he really drafted, banned, and picked according to what his opponents liked. And that's a sign of a true drafter, or a good drafter. And at TI, it's very, very important to play on your matchups. A lot of times, other tournaments throughout the year, you're very focused on yourself and building, and then the meta is always changing. But here at TI, you have this huge group stage to learn from. You come to the main stage with your biggest guns.
He's had a few years of experience.
He's been around quite a while. It's not his first rodeo, that's for sure.
How long has Puppy been playing?
Dota 1? 10, 12 years?
15 years?
More than 12, I think.
Since it started, like he's
Yeah,
and he's been at the top level
since the dawn of time.
since the dawn.
Ice Frog crafted Puppy right when he created Dota All-Star.
I really think this Witch Doctor pick is interesting because it seems like you pick it and like these heroes are so good, this Night Stalker and Lycan, that they feel forced to pick him anyway. And
I've seen this a couple times from, especially like VP, they first pick Witch Doctor or Ogre, very like neutral heroes that don't tell a lot about your draft, and then the second pick Batrider, which is a hero we find the slot being picked in a lot with that fourth pick, and then because it leads you into 2 more bans, but they chose to ban out summon heroes rather than bat counters, so we see the Oracle come out for what I would assume would be Kuroki?
yeah,
And that's Oracle's ultimate can dispel Lasso immediately and from a pretty long distance.
And also in the lane, the stickies, if they add up too much. So is that a position 4 slot with them?
no, the thing they might do, like if the Liquid's draft keeps going like this, like every hero is extremely good against Batrider, they might just want to put it on Jabsar.
I don't know if you've seen Yapsar play a Batrider. How many?
No, he did it once.
Yes?
It didn't go too well, but
They got a game to lose, right? You can risk it a little bit.
no, but the other thing, right? The standards, like if you have a Lycan and a Batrider, it kind of is one the Batrider to lane. But Oracle makes it a bit more complicated. I've seen Kessu do this before though, so I think that's what they're gonna do.
That's where I've seen like the struggle in this tournament is when he doesn't get a good start in the laning phase. He just doesn't have that same kind of impact. The other team builds up all these armor items and 4 staffs, and they ended up just kiting Lycan around for the little damage he's able to connect.
I mean, the problem with the Lycan Oracle lane is that they can't really kill the Batrider, right? Like if the Batrider is up there alone, he's gonna get a little bit of stuff, and you're trading 2 heroes for 1.
Is there any chance they put the Lycan in a different lane, say mid or something? Put that Snake Man up there, Venomancer?
Depends on the matchup.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they have the last pick, right?
Yeah, last pick is going to go to Liquid here. Secret's got to pick 2 heroes.
Chaos Knight.
CK, an Illusion hero. I've seen Illusion heroes do very, very well against Venomancer. He just doesn't have a lot of AoE other than his ultimate.
None of Team Liquid's heroes have very good AoE.
No,
It's the Venomancer ult, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, you need the AoE stun, most of all. Like, if you slowly deal damage with the Poison Nova, you're all gonna be dead.
Especially when CK gets up to having like a heart, like that Venomancer ult's just going to tickle him.
No, they don't have much lane push either, right? So they're gonna have to fight. If they don't fight,
So far we all kind of like where Secret are right now?
I don't feel too strongly about other side right now. I think Liquid's getting a little bit more back to their roots, which I like to see. Still not picking very many disables though. 0 stuns so far, once again from Team Liquid, which
5 seconds.
look over here, we have 4 stuns from Secret.
yeah.
I think stuns are important.
I also do. I've always been a big advocate of stuns. It makes the game easier. Like Dota is a hard game, and it's hard to play Dota with people, but when you can stun someone, they're standing still, and you can just attack them. You
got that cool little stun bar now. That's
chain stunning, yeah.
like
made our jobs way easier.
Yeah, and the way it pans out in pubs is that every single person on your team waits for that first bar to go, and then you have 4 stuns stacked on the same person.
Yeah, it's, at least you didn't stack them all at once.
I know, right? Now, Chaos Knight is a hero we saw OG do amazing things with yesterday, and Chaos Knight is also so hard to stop once he gets farmed up, but of course with no good cleave, with not a particularly good way to farm, he'll need to be participating in lots of those mid-game ganks and fights.
I just feel like is this Venomancer?
Oh, it's gonna be Venomancer offlane actually.
Is this because is this the hero you want to give Miracle on, like, potentially?
No.
Do you want to give him Venomancer? Doesn't feel like it, right?
Are you Dragon Knight here? How do you feel? They banned out Invoker, which we saw OG last night. They ran CK Slardar and Invoker,
I
right?
think it looks strong right now.
You like DK?
I think it looks strong. Potential, could be some, I don't know, Necrophos or something. I'm not sure how they would lane that, but
Timbersaw band, that makes me think they want to melee mid. Oh, Phantom.
Yes, a comfort here.
more illusions.
More illusions and no AoE from...
Now it has to be Miracle, right?
Yeah, and he needs to be able to clear some AoE. Sven is banned out from...
Oh, they're fast though. Here we go. Oh,
Alchemist. That's something. I
I've
don't
gone
know,
out on
man.
an Alchemist before, man.
They got their first stun of this series. Yeah.
Well, at this point in time, Miracle is mid with Alchemist. Let's see if he can have one of his first games on the main stage where he is the core carry to bring his team to victory, or will Team Secret close out with a convincing 2-0? Now that the draft is actually done, I give you casters permission to start your commentary.
Thank you very much, Sean. I almost had a heart attack in my rush to put on my headset when he said commentators.
You were just, you know, getting ready, prepared, and suddenly the draft is beginning and going to us.
Sean, you can't kill us that easy, much as you might try. Dota is alive, and so too, at least for now, our team Liquid here, Lumi. But
For now.
is this the draft?
I mean, this is a very risky draft. I think it might have been the best pick they could have gone, because if they try to go for an AoE stun like the panel suggested, think of Lena, something like that. I don't think it's going to be enough by herself to handle both Chaos Knight and PL. So they're saying, look, forget about the stuns. We're going to just beat you in a different avenue. And that different avenue is going super late with Alchemist. And hopefully they could dodge all of the ganks, all of the fights up to that point.
Is it a good out game? Like when you look at Alk, it's like how early can he farm? You know, is he going to be able to stay alive? Who can he give Aghanim Scepters to? Do you think this is a good out game?
No, I don't think it's a good out game, because you know you got a lot of physical damage coming your way. However, you do have Oracle, which is one of the best Alchemist partners. You know, you throw that false promise, you got a ton of heal just from the regen. It's not really have to play.
All right, let's see if Team Liquid can make it work. Backs against the wall. They got to take two here if they want to stay alive. They'll search for that.
So many storylines with these two teams.
I know. There's some. I think like the first big storyline for me is just these young guns that have taken their teams deep in this tournament. You know, we saw the profile of Miracle. He has been here before, but you've got GH, and of course I think for Yapsor, like his first
two of the most talented
shot at TI, where he could potentially make a deep run with his team, and they have both had amazing tournaments up until this point.
Yapsor was saying at his winning interview yesterday, you know, both him and Miracle from Jordan, after this game, perhaps after this series, one of them are going home, so representing the home country a little bit.
Good news for the Jordanian fans is one of them will be moving on, so they have someone to root for if they're very...
Yeah, he was saying, you know, he knows a lot of people from home will be watching this match, so it's...
A lot of people around the world are... I mean, that's just one storyline. You've, of course, got Puppey versus Kuro. Puppey draws first blood and gets that initial jab off, but we'll see if Kuro can respond here. Beyond that, I guess, Lumi, we're going to look at the lanes now. So it was a 5th pick PL. There isn't a whole lot of illusion clear. That's something the panel mentioned briefly. You talked about it not really being a good out game. Is it a good PL game?
For sure. You have no illusion clear. You could jump in and without... There's so few stuns. There's one stun to be exact on the side of Team Liquid that, you know, you could be very bold with the way that you play with your double ganger and things like that. So it's a great PL game.
So look at the way the lanes are being set up now. Secret are going to run the safe lane Batrider for Kezu. They go aggressive, dual, maybe tri-lane, depending on where Yapsor opts to spend his time. I love Yapsor already. Creeping around near mid, he's got the boots. He has skilled up the crush. Does not seem like he's really going for a courier snipe here. More interested in the early harass. The game plan from Secret seems to be, don't let Miracle have a good time. And so far, well, it's certainly working in that regard. Already two-thirds of his health gone.
Yeah. Surprised there wasn't a Phantom Lance. I guess Midrun felt that he was going to be able to right-click for more damage.
Did skill the rush up early here, and they are going to rotate GH now as...
Yeah.
Of course, they do have a little bit of assist here.
Kuro needs to TP bottom as well. This lane is not going to be possible for a Lycan on zone. And something that panel touched on is that they haven't seen a Lycan do well on the lane stage. Don't go well for him.
Certainly tough to balance your resources and make sure both of them have a good start. And of course, the other nice thing, I guess, for Liquid, what might help salvage these lanes is that the Veno is a very difficult hero to pressure, even for a Batrider.
Yep.
Do you see this Veno playing rather aggressively early on? No points in the Plague War, but got to imagine it is coming soon. Is Matumba Man in danger in the bottom lane? Almost taking down to the Maldic. Forces
Might
up the
die
Kuro
here.
TP, and he will pop on that last tick.
Liquid or level 1 Maledict is not something that does a ton, but they did a lot of damage onto him before that point, so.
Oh, that is costly. And I think even worse, Lumi, like we also see the TP coming in, so
Lane switch.
he does, I guess, get the experience out of this Kuroki, but now opens up some opportunities elsewhere as they try to pressure Kezu in the top lane, the Batrider, being harassed a bit, even for now at least, committing the Howl. And as you mentioned, it will be a full-on lane switch here. Mind Control is going to evacuate top.
But here's the thing, you're switching a Lycan into a Batrider lane. Like, is that any better?
That might even be worse, arguably.
Yeah, I mean, Batrider has the level advantage. Matumba Man doesn't even have boots, so if Kezu stacks like, let's say, 4 or 5 stacks onto Matumba Man, you could just run him down. They're actually going to dual lane up top here. They fire off the Gale, but the tower is smartly choosing to attack Mind Control, so they can't even dive him there either.
Genius now. Kezu thanks you for your service. They start to descend on mid. They're looking for the miracle kill. Good Void comes out, keeping YapzOr out of range of Crush, but now the Lance follow-up. That should secure it with MP joining the party. Multiple core lanes, apparently the order of the day, as they are still dual laning top with Mind Control, almost transitioning to that support role. Kuro is just being given the bottom lane solo. He says, I'm going to carry this one.
Oh, the 2 captain wants a true 1v1. Let's go. 5 position supports, last hitting. Get in there, boys.
The Kuro puppy fight. A thing of dreams. Only at TI7.
Yeah.
Only at TI7.
I mean, to be serious for a second, though, like, this is not the way that Team Liquid wants to have their lanes. They have a 1 and 3rd position player laning together at the top lane. Mind Control's playing the zoner here.
I don't think they're going to go on Kezu again. The pressure continues. He does have the Firefly, though. Do they actually want to dive for this? They try to take him down, force out that TP, and Puppy is here looking for the response. Lays him with the Maledict, but Kezu probably too low to chase this out. Lots of the Flame Break. Mind Control did stick up. Probably should be fine, but that Maledict packs a punch. Maybe not. One more hit.
Woo! Okay.
Panic TP didn't actually even get into the fountain there initially, but fortunately for him, he will survive. It's so uncommon to see 2 cores laning together that we just assumed it was a lane swap. Like, you really never see this in Dota nowadays.
Yeah, this shows that Team Liquid has really lost in terms of what they could be doing in the lanes. And I think Team Secret is just one step ahead. Like, look at this move by YapzOr. Like, he knows that, hey, stack is coming, he's going to block it. I feel like Team Secret is just one step ahead everywhere.
They are getting pretty heavily out-farmed as well, with the Cast Knight already at 20 CS. YapzOr is being pursued, though, as that first nighttime clicks in, and perhaps... Oh, no, YapzOr denying him the Arcane Rune, as he does get the crush off. Still the pursuit. GH very committed, and he will get the kill. Salvaging the game, keeping Liquid in it for now. Try to batten down the hatches a bit here. The good news, Lumi, Miracle is farming well. All the crazy lane shenanigans we saw earlier, it has allowed him to just sit mid and hit creeps, and now he's getting a little assistance from GH as the Howl comes out, continues to pursue, and mid one looks to answer back a lot of damage with that first Spirit Lance. TPs are coming in. Puppy's going to rotate. Even that is just opening up the other lane. So this first nighttime, getting Liquid back in the game.
Before things get a little bit too crazy, I do want to mention that Liquid once again does have the combination of Night Stalker and Lycan. You can just turn into Night anytime you want with the Darkness, and then of course it makes the Howl doubly effective during Night. So a little bit of small something, but something that they have to count on.
Mind Control, does fog them, at least for now, but YapzOr on the case, gets up the crush. Kuro coming in, looking for the save. The Maledict's there, but it is already level 2. GH arriving as well, but he's running into 3. Not sure this is a fight he wants to take. In fact, YapzOr was looking for the second kill. Crush was still pulling down, gets away to safety. Mid one continues to bully Miracle, who does not have his level 6 yet. Has to be careful he doesn't overplay his hand. Bit behind in the experience department as YapzOr lurks, waiting for GH to come through, but actually Liquid have brought 3. He needs to get out of here. Gale comes in, and with that, Liquid score another kill. Climbing back into this game. This nighttime has really salvaged things.
It has, and there's still 2 minutes left of it, so let's see if GH could do a little bit more.
Overall, for Secret, is this expected that you're going to struggle this first nighttime? Are you at all worried if they're them? Are there any adjustments they need to make in your eyes?
I feel like they played the first 4 minutes very well. I think they definitely got way more kills than they should have gotten with the heroes that they have. Hold that thought here, as Puppy will have to turn on the heal as he runs away from GH, but perhaps a bait flies over.
Flapping away, but the Maledict is going to take him down. Puppey has been a force on this Witch Doctor, and he was a force in game 1.
Yeah, what a skill build coming out from Witch Doctor as well. 2 points in Maledict, 1 point in Voodoo, and 1 point in Cast. This is definitely not the standard build, but hey, he's finding it, correct use for every single situation.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, like, the standard Lycan build is not to get the Wolves early, so, even if he needs the Cask later, he'll have time to go back for that.
Yep.
And Witch Doctor's heal and Cask are both pretty decent value points as far as they go. Like, just getting that stun in and of itself is a huge upgrade for the hero, and
Sure.
the heal level 1 is quite strong.
Oh my god, this is a huge play by the Batrider. He's stealing the stack away from the Alchemist.
Bone 7 is smiling. This is a move.
This is what he does,
Dates back to him.
Yep. Oh, there you go. There goes that Alchemist stack. That's like 200
Diving
gold.
on mid. They want Miracle. It's Chemical Rage on cooldown, but in comes GH looking for the assist. Now Puppey's the one who's run over. GH again making the right movements once more. GH trying to play the hero, and GH doesn't quite get mid one, trying to take him down.
One more hit.
GH is a goddamn hero. He scores the kill. He'll pay with his life, but what worth it for the PL. Mind Control, though, might have overextended. Indeed, he will. So the Venomancer drives by. He's going to die in the lane. I mean, you can't ask for more from GH. This guy single-handedly dragging Liquid on his back into the game.
Yeah, and he has to do so because their lanes are just so bad the way that they were constructed. And they are in the game. Miracle does have the boots finished, upgraded, going for the standard armlet. He's now going to go into the jungle and get the bad news that, hey, my camp's taken. Again, Team Secret, even though they give away a couple kills in the nighttime, I still feel like that was okay, especially the fact that Batrider took that stack away is what gives me the win for Team Secret.
Technically, Liquid, their first lead of the game, at least their first substantial tick towards one. They have completely erased that early Secret progress. But now we enter the next phase. It is, again, daytime. Secret can use this time to farm up. We're going to see MP building towards a fast armlet here on the Chaos Knight as the mid one continues to pressure in the mid lane. Has the Arcane Rune, so those very low cooldown spears keep on getting pumped out. It's going to force GH to TP away. Not a scary creature at this time. The Secret look to ramp up the push. Not the best pushing lineup, Lumi. That's something Secret really do struggle with, outside of perhaps the Phantasm, that they have to get an overwhelming advantage to take these structures down.
Not a good pushing paper on lineup, but then what if like they just put illusions in front of your building? What is Team Liquid's answer? They don't really have one, so...
It's slow progress, but
it will eventually take down the building.
They do chip it down, only to half HP, but nonetheless, progress for them. As elsewhere, Liquid are using this time to farm out. Mind Control trying to get back in the game, only got 2k net worth. Venomancer, with all the rotations he had to make, is just maxing out the Plague Wards. We're not going to see the extra points in Gale and Sting we saw from the mid-Veno previously.
And I go for mid-1 on the mid lane, but again, there's so very little control for him. He just jumps away.
Now a Smoke, Secret making their play. They want Matumba Man. Does have the shapeshift. They're going to have to chain stun him. The lasso's available. They want the Wolf, and they'll get him, at least initially, pulling him up onto the high ground where Puppey is lurking with the Maledict. The crush comes through. Kuro to the rescue, though. I don't think Matumba Man dies just yet, and now he chases forward. Wants a piece of Puppey, looking for vengeance. The Witch Doctor's overextended, but YapzOr trying to at least get the time out there. Not going to happen now. YapzOr on the run as well. They hound him. They pursue in force. A little bit too far. They are going to back away now, and on the chase is MP. Back the other direction we go. Ping-ponging onto Mind Control.
He's got
the short duration stun, and now gets off the poison over the crush. Connects on only one. The Snake Man's down. Secret going to back away for now. But this is all buying time.
Yeah, this is a
Miracle is farming.
Very good fight for Team Liquid. You know, like you mentioned, Miracle hasn't even needed to join any single fights. I think Team Secret definitely overestimated what they could have done taking a fight at the enemy shrine. Great TP coming in from Kurogi tapping that shrine. And once that shrine is activated, that Maledict really doesn't do much of anything. So, good 1-for-1 trade for Team Liquid. And checking on Miracle's farm, he's up to 1500 with Armlet and Treads upgraded. Hey, they might be actually able to do it.
And looking at the tower now, Glyph gets forced out. No darkness available. It is still daytime. Imagine Liquid might want to wait to fully contest this, but with the catapult, hell, they might try it now. Chemical Rage active. DD Rune can be popped. Last hit to Miracle. Give him almost 2,000 gold halfway to the Relic.
Can he make it out, though?
But can he get away? It certainly seems that case.
Okay.
Who's the big boy now? Miracle just absolutely shreds him, and the chase goes forward, looking for more.
Well, I don't know if Marigold's going to pop off this game, but that's a good start, you know? Tower last hit.
Doing it during daytime as well. Secret just not respecting him.
Top lane looks like they're trying to make a dive for the Tumba Man, but no blink just yet here on the Bat Rider.
Kezu did opt to go for the drums first. Flying out now. And mid one also rushing the Diffusal Blade, so not even going to upgrade the boots here. Go for any stat items outside the Aquila. Just wants to get that Diffusal out as quickly as possible.
Moving on from this point in the game, I think Curl's positioning in fights is going to determine whether Team Liquid has a chance or not in this game. He is public enemy #1. He's the one that's providing the spells as well as save for the rest of the team. And there's so many heroes that could easily get behind him. You know, of course, mid one with his Diffusal Blade, Chaos Knight with Reality Rift, as well as just Slaughter kind of just coming in the back line. So,
speaking of that Slaughter, GH again on the prowl here. Has the phase boots picked up. Always a threat to flap over the trees. So when is Secret's next move? Is the Diffusal Blade the armlet at that point? Do you just go? Do you start taking those fights? Or?
I think you're waiting for the blinks from Slaughter or the Bat Rider.
Okay.
You really need a hard initiation to find the right target, whether that is Kurogi or somebody else, and go for the quick kill. I think if you're relying on Diffusal Blade or drums, that's not fast enough to get the right initiation off, and Liquid can come in, you know, whether via tower TPs or just good positioning of their own to kind of take a good fight. You don't want to fight into an Alchemist lineup when you don't have enough, because if you just die to an Alchemist lineup, you just give him more time to farm, and that's a recipe for disaster.
So Puppey does continue to just keep on maxing out this Maledict. Now level 3. Still only the 1 point in the cast, and could become very relevant here as Matumba Man is building towards the Necro Book. This has increasingly been the more popular build. We've seen a lot of players shying away more and more this tournament from the Armlet Mask of Madness. As GH prowls the dire jungle. Looking for that next opening. Diffusal Blade is nigh. MP's Armlet only a few creeps away, so those two big early combat items for Secret about to come out. But Liquid the ones on offense. Grouping up behind Miracle, they look for this tier 1 top. With the tower falling, Radiance will be nearly complete. In fact, Puppey in a bit of danger, lobs out the Maledict, but then gets silenced up, and GH pursues onto the high ground. Really wants to force it, perhaps he's been baited in a bit too far. Cast coming out, Maledict ticking in, and will pay with his life.
Space created.
But space for the tower.
I mean, you just dove into a tier 3 for a 1-for-1 trade, and you got 2 teleport scroll from a 4 position.
And you got the tower, you got the Radiance.
Give him that chat wheel, man. Space created. Well done. And he needs to do that. Space.
He's not that kind of player. He lets us play do the talking.
Well, Miracle has the Radiance online. 14 minutes and 30 seconds with treads upgraded as well as Armlet. Not the best time ever, but very, very serviceable given how the laning stage went, right? Remember, you got to keep in mind that Matumba Man got first blood at bottom, or he got killed bottom. They had to lane with a Veno for a while. That was just not a good start. They're still in the game.
Definitely not a part of the plan, but it's working out all the same for Liquid. However, the change-up could be upon us momentarily as they look for GH here. Amp damage coming through. Kezu, no blink though. Can't wrangle the Vampire.
Kezu's not going for blink. He's going for a Yule Scepter. What do you make of that?
The Night Stalkers?
No. I mean, but you're a Bat Rider. Your job is to initiate. I guess he feels that, look, there is an Orgo on the other side. He gives respect to Kuro that he feels that he won't be able to get off very reliable initiation. That he just want to itemize in a different manner, but then you have a Bat Rider not at 100%.
The Slaughter is about to get it. So Yapzor very close to his blink, and to be fair, like their lineup's good at chasing, right? With the PL,
yeah,
Diffusal Blade, even Chaos Knight, a decent chaser.
I mean, you're just putting a lot of stock on that Slaughter being able to get that initiate off.
Well, they got the scan that might give them the opportunity here. At the same time, it's nighttime, and GH knows. He can see when Secret just creep towards that ward. So Liquid constructing a fairly safe push here, plopping down the Serpent Wards. And now Darkness falls. Do they commit? Liquid thinking about it. Secret still want to hold this tower. They conga line through the trees. Yapzor in position for his blink debut. Can he sneak up? Kuro would be an ideal target. The smoke actually, I believe, just got a little too close to mind control Kuro across the tree line. Instantly, you see Liquid are confident to back away. They see no one farming elsewhere. PL still off in the jungle. BOT is coming next for mid 1, so Secret won't find their opening. At the same time, they do hold the tower.
How far do you think he'll need to be to take over this game? Especially against CK, PL.
I mean, he has an Oracle behind him, right? And they do have like the Lycan Owl as well, so I think they have some ways to help him tank up.
So do you feel it's more about how the rest of his team play rather than, you know, how farm he gets?
I think it's more about the Oracle.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of damage, right? They have amp damage, great against Alchemist, who has relatively
They're running a mid one up top here.
Armor, but here comes the chase on the mid 1. They want to kill up this PL.
And they will get it.
Huge pick off, no punish as Kezu just walks into the Necro army. Yapzor even trying to get his blink off, but constantly the minions are a problem. He's got to crush him back away.
Alchemist is joining the fight.
Though still get the jump onto GH, but Tumba Man wants to take this fight, not into that Maledict. That's not going to
Miracle's
happen.
coming in with their one stun. They're going to go out. Nice dodger by MP. They're going to try to walk it off. Miracle's chasing. He doesn't have his ultimate. They could turn on him right now.
Oh, good snare by Kuro, but now the Death Ward coming through. Kuro's down, and Liquid have to retreat. The stun lobs out. God, if they had the PL, Secret would be diving so hard right now, but they just don't have the pursuit.
But Tumbleman's still standing in a very forward position. Kuro is out of the fight. They get picked off very fast, and that's the state of the game where you look like, you know, we just want to have more stuns, you know? How do you chase in a situation like that?
Just patiently, you know, I think you can be content with the PL kill.
Yeah.
You don't have to go for more at that point.
And I think they shouldn't have. As soon as they miss their stun, we're going to watch that one more time. They do go for the Night Stalker to start things off. And then you see the Alchemist coming down from the river. The stun will miss. And right at that point, I think it was time to back off. Yeah.
By MP. Because Rowdy Rift does have a bit of like a cast animation compared to, say, a Manta.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, the Alchemist stun isn't, you know, the fastest traveling projectile, so.
Well, Yule's now complete. So while you might want to see a blink from Kezu, this could be a tool to keep that Oracle out of the fight as long as possible while they try and focus Miracle down. See how it pans out for Secret. Still, though, feels like overall they're kind of playing Liquid's game, right? It's a good out game. There's some big Aghanims upgrades here. The Venomancer Ags upgrade is great. The Night Stalker one, fantastic. And
do you want to play that game right now on the main stage? Who do you want to give the Ags to first out of his allies? I mean, my vote is on the Night Stalker, but
I definitely think you need a plus armor item. Like, you're not going to rush an Ag.
Oh, no, no way. Like, I'm talking about once he's comfortable with his item slot and he's feeling rich, start to dole out some Ags.
Yeah, I think so. I think Night Stalker is probably the ideal one, just because against Batrider, the vision is so important. You cannot let him get the jump. Secret are smoked up, though. They haven't been particularly successful in these smokes, but they're going to try it again. Scouting out Matumba Man, but look at the positioning of Kuro, Lumi. Tucked in the trees, up above his core. Liquid are definitely anticipating Secret's movements well now. And they haven't been able to find that big fight. You know, the way their lineup works, they want to just catch a hero out and then keep on chasing everyone down with defusal charges, reality rips, the Batrider pursuit. But in fact, the charge going the other way. Mid 1 is being forced back. They got the armlet, they got the defusal, they got the drums, Yules, and the blink on the Slardar, and they're just not fighting.
Yeah. They're definitely respecting the fact that there is quite a bit of vision on the side of Team Liquid.
Is there a way to deal with that for Secret? Like anything they can do to get vision back?
I mean, you could put down wards, but as soon as Night Stalker presses Darkness, you know, a lot of your vision is just gone. Mind Control could plop down his own wards as well to, like that, just give him a little bit of extra sight outside of the Roshan pit. They know Rosh is going on, but it's hard to initiate it. And this is a spot where you wish Batrider has a lasso, Blink Lasso rather.
Well, they're trying to bring in the whole gang, but by the time they get to the pit, it's already too late. Instead, they're going to go in mid, locking down GH, and in a flurry of attacks, he should die. No Kuro's there with the save, but a 3-hero crush from Yapzor. A godly play by him. Still GH stays alive for a while, almost killing off Puppey, and now the chase is on. Liquid see an opening with that Venomancer all committed, MP dropping low. Do they drive forward? Mid 1, kiting them from the side. However, he could get stunned here by the Alk. The crush comes through, looking for the save. And now, isolating Miracle, but he's just going to Manta and retreat. Still is the Aegis as well. Secret have to gang up here and try to rely on that Puppey heal to get them back towards safety. They do get the mid-1 kill in the end. They hang on, at least for now, to the Aegis.
Yeah, great trade here, if you ask me, for Team Liquid. Got the enemy core, you lost 2 supports, whatever. Miracle didn't die, he has
They want to
Aegis.
go back in. Secret are thinking about it. They don't have the lasso. Who do they jump on first? In the back lines, it's Mind Control. Without the Poison Nova, he should be an easy kill, but Miracle's there to the rescue. Bails his buddy out, keeps him alive, and forces Secret on their heels. Do they have a stun? The Void's cooling down. Oh, almost got it. GH. Mid-cast animation. So 2 cores now down for Secret.
Another kill given to Liquid for free, basically, and they're going to lose buildings from it. If you fight into an Alchemist, you better be damn sure that you have enough to take him down, or take his team down. And Team Secret had neither. Miracle, as soon as he pops that ultimate, they are able to take down the tier 2 and just start to farm off the enemy jungle. I think Liquid have stabilized. I think they might have able to recover from this game 2 situation. I mean, they're up 7k, and that might seem like a lot, but let me remind you of game 2 of the Liquid's last series, where there was an enemy Alchemist on the other side. They were up like 10, 15k, and Liquid eventually came back, but I think they have stabilized.
Oh, they find Kezu now with the Void coming through. He goes for the Yules, but quickly getting purged off. Down he goes. Kuro on point. And Secret on the run, continually being picked off. The Wolves are scouting, and Matumbo Man knows there's additional heroes lurking here. He sounds the cry to chase forward. The BOT plays for Miracle, locking onto MP, looking to finish off the Chaos Knight. Liquid are going to get another. All of a sudden, 12 to 12, but that does not tell the story of this game.
No, it does not.
The rating career at least sniped something for mid-1, a small consolation prize, but the real victory is all Liquid's right now, as they continue to scratch and claw, try to force that game 3. They're definitely well back into this one. It's just crazy to think how it started. Puppey was walking around freely as a Witch Doctor, racking up kills. You had a dual lane Veno Lycan that was still almost losing, it felt like, to a Batrider.
I mean, I
but
think
things have changed.
I think one of the key points to point out, given how the game state is going, is that, yes, Team Secret was ahead from the laning stage, but they didn't really have heroes that could get further ahead. Like, sure, you did well in the lanes, but you weren't pushing towers, right?
They don't have like an anti-mage with the Battle Fury, an Alchemist with a Radiance, and they didn't have, they didn't have the blink on the Batrider to even set up those kills, so they gave Liquid a little breathing room. And
I'm thinking more heroes like Pugna, right? Like, if you get well in the laning stage, you start blasting towers, you start constricting what Liquid could do, where they could farm.
True.
But they couldn't. I mean, eventually, sure, you have illusion heroes. Eventually, you can push tower, but that's eventually. That will take too long, and it did take too long. Liquid has had more than enough time. Unless Miracle makes some sort of big misplay, I think if he plays safe, this could be Liquid's game.
all does hang in the balance. Their TI lives very much on the line. They leave him mid for now, but the BOTs can bring him to join the team. Liquid commence their push, a little chip damage on bottom, taking a couple 100 points of health away from that tower. Still the tier 1 remains top, something that Secret would sure love to eradicate.
But they're going to lose the tier 2. Also, when I say Miracle needs to, play good, same thing with Kerr, right? I'm kind of counting them as a joint unit at this point. False Promise for your Alchemist, that's the combo. Here we go, High Ground Siege.
Cast comes a bouncing, Puppey trying to slow this down, but Miracle is undaunted up front. At least for now, the Necro Book gets forced away, but already this tower has taken a heavy punishment. 900 health gone. Still the tier 1 health holds top, and now they chase after mid 1. Matumbo Man sicking his minions on the PL. Gonna force him back, as meanwhile these Alk Illusions, quite an infestation on the secret side of the map, and they look perhaps a little more. Alk stun lobbed out.
Very composed push. I think a lot of teams would have seen, hey, we're up on the high ground, we got the Lycan ult, we got the Wolves, we got the Summon, let's just take the tier 3, but Team Liquid, recognizing that the enemy shrine is still up, they could be very liable to get backstabbed. Last time it was the Absol getting a 3-man Slithering Crush. That could just, end their lead, so playing it very safe. Miracle does get the Corrosive Haze on him, but he could easily dispel that with a Mantis out. He'll probably do so soon.
So Secret identifying that they need 2 BKBs here. Mid 1 is going for 1 simultaneously. We do see MP has just completed his, just got the gold now. So they're going to go for another timing with the BKBs, look to really take the fight to Liquid. Do you think they'll be able to fight into Liquid with these, or are they still lacking?
To me, it isn't about the BKBs. Don't get me wrong, the BKB is going to be nice. Like, it's going to prevent the stuns from coming out. It's going to make heroes like Night Stalker as well as Venomancer somewhat ineffective. But to me, the ultimate thing is, are you finding Kuro? Can you kill him before he lets off his spells? Because once you kill him, then you have real methods to control Alchemist.
But they don't have the vision, right? Like, you've got on the side of Liquid, you have a Night Stalker and the Wolves constantly scouting, giving you information. Like, where's the vision for Secret? It's maybe an Amplify Damage or Corrosive Haze here or there, an Illusion scouting in the woods. Like,
yeah,
they don't have a great vision.
I mean,
here.
they have Bat Rider, it'll help a little bit, but I think this is where Shadow Blade helps, from heroes like Slaughter or even the Bat. No-Tail has been a big fan of getting Blink Dagger on the Chaos Knight, where you could, use for just your hero and also kind of pull your illusions into the fight if you want. Maybe that's something MP will consider, but it looks like he's going to just bulk up. He's going to go for the AC.
While he's bulking up, Miracle is already swole. Banging away at this tier 2 top Shiva's Guard complete. Octarine on the way. Alp get 22k net worth. All the problems he had early, they feel long gone. Liquid are now about to siege. Grouping up top, shoving that lane in. Roche could be up soon, so they don't want to do it just yet. And Matumbaman's going to sprint to bottom, or at least thinks about it. 6th the Necrobook inside this dire base, all the way to the tier 3
Gonna hit
tower.
tier 3, yeah.
For now, at least, there was a moment of backdoor, but that is gone, and now tower nearly down. If they kill this off, the Shrine's going to be
One more hit.
One more hit, he does it! Oh, that is huge.
Yeah.
Shrines have been opened up. Instantly, GH is onto it.
But they might get backstabbed. Here comes Team Secret.
Secret could have found their opening here. The crush to start, and they catch out, of all heroes, they catch out Kuro. That's really bad for Liquid. They need to retreat, get out quickly. GH, looking for the Corrosive Haze there, but he somehow manages to
Link
flap
it
away.
1 second.
Flame Break coming through is going to connect. He makes it back to safety. If it's only Kuro, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the lanes are way too pushed. Look at Mind Control's position. He's like, hey, I see Kuro gain jump. I'm going to just push top. Now you have to respond to that. As you're responding to that, our other lanes are going to get pushed out. Team Secret says this is our small opening to get the mid-wave push in and maybe look for a little bit more.
Gapsor still hunting. Diving after the Night Stalker at nighttime. That is a tall order. Meanwhile, you see Mind Control infesting this top lane, just constantly shoving it in, trying to draw some heroes back, at which point his team can go and try to deal with some Shrines. So the BKBs are complete now. When does Secret get their next fight? They're not itemizing to play greedy. They're not trying to really itemize to just farm their way back into this. That's never the ideal scenario against an Alex to try and play his game, but continue to slip behind the longer that clock runs. And now MP getting caught out here, silenced up. Alex stun coming through. It's not the longest duration. The Shiva's connected as well, but he gets back to safety. Now it's Puppey who's caught out. Do they turn? Do they fight? When will Secret make their stand? It's not now. Puppey's down. MP hesitates, blows the BKB, still goes down, and it's off to the races. Matumbaman charging in. They can descend on this tower, and in a flurry of auto attacks look to bring it down. They force mid one on his heels. Liquid turn back for objectives now. Focus, eyes on the prize. Single-minded, they just want these towers. They want the racks. They don't care about Secret's heroes. It's an even game in kills, but that's not Dota. Dota is a game of buildings, and that's exactly what Liquid are taking down. Melee racks have fallen. They want more. Looking for the ranged. They still stick around. They're not even hesitating for the time being. The ranged will drop, and still no sign of answer.
They could maybe get Matumbaman on the way out, but I think they're happy to sacrifice him. No, they're going to leave him.
Lasso still available, but Kuro just sits back waiting with the false promise. He's going to get Yules, and now the lasso comes through, but Kuro purchases it off anyway. Matumbaman going to be able to walk away freely. Maybe GH doesn't even go down here. Secret are committing their BKBs, potentially their lives, to this hold, and it seems like they're losing. They even shrine up, but the Ox stun comes through. Miracle on the onslaught here, charging forward, forcing Secret back. Mid one wants to fight. Still, BKBs have been expended. Is this really their time? Matumbaman's at full HP right now. The Lance comes through. I think Liquid are content to back away, but they need that shapeshift. They're still trying to kill him. Finally, they'll get that kill, but doesn't really feel like it matters. Buildings have fallen. Heroes have died. Long duration BKBs expended. Roche is about to respawn. And I don't know that Secret are in position to contest it, Lumi.
Yeah, I feel like Team Liquid gave away a little bit too much there. There was no reason to... if GH dies, whatever. We're going to watch the team fight one more time. I believe this is just going to be the first half of the team fight where Team Liquid feels like they're strong enough and they're going to just run at them. There is no response whatsoever from Team Liquid. Sorry, Team Secret. Team Secret play much better when they're the one that's initiating with the Bat Rider, with the Slaughter. And that was just Liquid flexing, they're going in. Not much of Secret.
I mean, you can see the idea there for the Batrider of Kezu. Yules up the Oracle and then just go on somebody. But the range is long enough with the Aether Lens that Kuroki can still easily just purge that lasso off.
Had they done that like maybe 10 minutes earlier, that would have been a good plan. But sure, you Yules up the Oracle, but you're not killing people fast enough before he comes down.
That is the other thing.
Yeah, like what is your burst damage on the side of Team Secret? I guess the Chaos Knight.
It's a reality room.
Yeah,
that's
which,
basically it.
You know, he was struggling to get into the right position at team fight as well.
So Liquid get one. Now they want the Roche. Bottom lane, remember, is exposed. Mid lane, still the tier 3 stands. It's going to be a tough siege for Secret to stop here, Lumi. Especially if an Aegis Cheese is a part of it. But really, how does Secret get near the pit? They got to worry about these lanes pushing in. There's a Night Stalker running around with a gem, flying out momentarily. They already seem to have trouble initiating trouble with vision. Those troubles will continue to increase.
Yeah, they even feel confident enough to not give Miracle the Aegis. They put it on Matumba Man. This is generally a bad sign for the other team. Now there is 2 hyper cores that you have to deal with. There's still Kuroki with his false promise on the backline that you have to kill before. And Kuro's got a Aether Lens, so he can stay even further away in a better position. This might be checkmate for Team Secret. It feels like it's already checkmate.
They're going to try, though. Secret moving out. They do have their BKBs double damage and bottled up by mid-1. This could be big.
Darkness ends.
Darkness ends, and maybe the opening comes
Blinks
through
away!
Yapzor, though, crushing onto the Oracle. That's probably the ideal target. Now the lasso comes through on him. Mid-1 can commit. They drag him up. Roast him in the flames, and Matumba Man gets aggressive. He fights into this. Miracle joins the fray. They're going to back up their friend here. Still that Oracle is alive through it all. Kuro survives. Secret are not getting kills with these BKBs. Finally, the Oracle will drop. The Lycan also brought down, but round 2 is much more painful. Miracle still full HP. Fighting forward is the Lycan. Liquid win the fight. 3 fall. They push in.
Well, they got the initiation they were looking for. Unfortunately, they didn't get the kill quickly enough. And meanwhile, Team Liquid.
Oh boy. Miracle. The cojones on this one. Here comes the Rapier. That is going to be huge for taking down these structures, but it's the kills that Miracle seems to want. He's diving for MP. He's diving with the Rapier. What's he doing? He has no fear. Kessler just runs away.
I think they're ahead enough, or even if he had lost the Rapier, it would have been fine. So this is more like, hey, we're winning this game so hard. I'm not even worried about giving a Rapier away, and we're going to finish the game right now.
Yeah, out comes the Gale. Miracle finally using that Rapier for its proper purpose, which is to bring down buildings. They crush him. They can't control him, though. Liquid, Mega Creeps await. Game 3 awaits. Secret cannot close them out.
Call it GG.
What a shaky start, Lumi. That looked real dicey. Talk about composure. You're down 0-1. You're on the verge of elimination. Your lanes really go awry, and they somehow just stay calm under pressure. I mean, people look at Kuroki. We've seen him cast before, and he is a very calm guy. And I think that calmness really paid off here for the team.
As much as Team Secret won Game 1 off of Puppy's play with the Spare Breaker, I felt like 4 picks into the Game 2, the panel was like, what do you do against this Chaos Knight? What do you do against PL? And Kuro has the balls to pick an Alchemist, which traditionally on paper isn't a good pick against those heroes, but they were able to play around it through some awkward lanes, awkward ganks, but they played it better. I mean, that first rotation into the jungle where Team Secret fought next to the shrines, remember that? Where Kuro TP'd in, tapped the shrine, made sure they saved Matumba Man, and throughout that 2 minutes of fighting, Miracle got free farm. I think that might have been like the big turn of the game.
Well, poised under pressure here, Liquid, they force us to go the distance. Game 3 awaits.
Miracle, of course, we've been looking for a game where he goes off and indeed buying the Rapier at the end, letting us know.
The Bristleback, I think, to a large extent. And now they see a Necrophos kind of early, so they need to think, you know, what kind of hero can they use to kind of counter this Necro Coddle now, right? Because they get this information kind of early. So how can they kind of counter this Necrophos? What do you think?
Mid-ancient apparition.
Mid-A, oh.
Offlane Spirit Breaker, support AA, Rubik AA trialing.
Is that, okay, yeah. I mean, the A has always been pretty good against Necro. I was thinking along something like, they're gonna, later on in the stage, maybe they can go for some kind of AM or something similar.
Yeah, they can do
Think
that.
that would work?
I think if they want to pick some carriers here earlier, it should be like a diffusal carrier that can move, like some Jug, some Weaver, like that.
Yeah, that could work too.
Do you like diffusal carriers versus Necro?
Yeah, I think it's really good. Like TA is also, it's weird, but I think in general TA is a pretty good hero versus Necro. The way you can burst them, the items you buy. But like you have the third pick right here. And do you want to pick Templar Assassin here? Like, I don't think you do.
Definitely not.
And this Necro can appear in any lane, so.
Yeah, I don't mind Weaver. I think not only does Weaver he can go Diffusal, but he can also go Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah.
Protect us from that big bad sight.
10 seconds remaining.
We also see Bristleback banned straight up out of Team Secret. I mean, we've talked about Keeper Bristle being a strong pair, but
Mind Control's been dominating on the hero this turn.
yeah, I was going to say, but do you feel like this is a necessary ban?
Well, you know, it's not really up to me. I feel like if Puppy wants to ban it, then I think you should ban it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Very fair.
Like this is their counter to this stuff too. Like
Just
every
roll.
Caudal dual lane, they want
5
Necrophos
seconds
play.
remaining.
This is what they.
So without Bristleback, what do you look to lane with Caudal, or do you just throw him in the safe lane?
I feel like GH kind of just plays that card no matter what, right?
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't. I agree that you kind of want to play around something, right, with this this card to some extent. You want to have a purpose in the early game.
You want to have a presence in lane. Pi, you play a little bit of Caudal. Is there any matchups that you like, or combinations?
I mean, I used to like the classics are like Phantom Lancer, and then you have these Timber Saws, and then you can go even for the Axes and Slaughters, you know, so they have double stun or double call. But I don't think I've seen Liquid do that. They more play for the Axe, right? Like he farms a pretty fast Axe, and then they push together.
Yeah, they hit a timing.
10
So-
seconds remaining.
I wonder.
What are heroes that you don't like playing against as a Caudal?
5 seconds.
I mean, Spirit Breaker is like, it can be pretty rough, but you can handle that. It's like these Nixes and these carries that can run up on you. Like Weaver would be annoying.
What do you feel about Storm? Do you think that's
Storm can be pretty
Yeah.
obnoxious. But like if they want to push, like especially like how he's pretty good at farming, right? Like he'll be pretty farm. The Storm won't really kill you for a long while. Like you have Axe, Ghost Scepter, it's daytime, you're pushing, the Storm jumps in,
I
the
think
healing comes.
Caudal would hit that Axe timing well before Storm got 3 or 4 slots, which I think he needs to be super impactful.
Okay.
Got a Furion pickup here. That's, you know, I could look at that as a deny pick almost. That's, you know, one of my favorite heroes from Mind Control and Team Liquid.
Yeah, I could see that too. They like running this kind of, when they have Caudal and they have Prophet, it's very hard to play against that. They can be everywhere on the map all the time.
Liquid split push. It won them a lot of games.
Has it won them a lot of games in the group stages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Teams will go up against Liquid and they'll be split pushed by Lycans, Broodmothers, Furions, Caudal, Wisp. This global presence kind of team that Liquid has brought time and time again has presented a ton of trouble for teams playing up against them, and that was why they were one of the favorites coming into this tournament.
Now this is a third pick I would love some clarity on. Obviously, Witch Doctor is really nice to have in lane. It's great at babysitting.
I feel like it looks a lot like push. I mean, we have the Witch Doctor with the heal. They're gonna have that Caudal with Axe, and during daytime we've seen Liquid. They really like doing this. They really like taking advantage of the Caudal daytime heal from the Axe. So they have a lot of heal, like, and Necrophos as well. So I think they're gonna go for this.
This is the core.
20-minute.
This is the core AA game, man.
Maybe.
AA
They have
banned.
very static lanes right
Three healers.
AA is.
Oh, it's banned.
Banned.
Oh no! All right, my bad. I was getting all excited.
I mean, does Team Liquid now need just damage in a front line to absorb?
I think the Necrophos can do a little bit of front line, but yeah.
They need catch. You have Furion, who's going to be split pushing, Rubik, who can clear waves, and then you have Queen of Pain, who's, you know, very mobile.
I just think they have to think, like they can't be greedy, that's how they have to think. Like if you look at this lineup, they can only fight, and they're gonna be diving you early with Secret. Like you have to survive the lanes here. Like they just have to do anything to survive.
What kind of carry do you think Secret goes for here?
Like they want to pick Lone Druid because that's their favorite hero, but that might be, I don't know, greedy. If
We
they're
used to see
diving.
Witch Doctor, or at least I used to pick Witch Doctor a little bit against Furion,
Yeah.
because you can cast the Treants as they come in to mess with your waves, but Furions mostly just keep their Treants in lane with them nowadays. But you can easily kill the Treants and deal with Furion's off-lane presence.
It's just wherever, like the Spirit Breaker is gonna charge, the Fury and Teep is in, and then you have, if one hero rotates, you're gonna be like 3-4 heroes every time you dive a tower, like at 4 to 8 minutes.
More heal, right? Press the attack.
More heal.
A fourth healer.
And also
catch, yeah.
Yes, you can remove some silences from Necrophos if he gets orchided. Potentially some disables from Spirit Breaker.
I mean, they still need something that hit the buildings, right?
Oh, it's coming.
I think they have like the amount of sustain they have. The buildings will eventually fall. I feel like they can stay in front of those towers forever during daytime.
Sven ban. Are we looking at an illusion hero for Team Secret? Perhaps that. I don't know. They have LC. What are we thinking about this Sven ban? They definitely need some physical damage.
I mean, maybe the Sven is just, it's a tower hitter, and he gives armor, and it would just be very hard to stop the Sven. Like the Coddle Witch Doctor Sven is a pretty decent tri lane.
Pull out the Drown Ranger again?
It's banned.
Oh, it's banned. All right.
It's a big screen. We got a lot to look at here. But banning Sven removes the option for Warcry, which is a huge armor bonus for their team. I think physical damage makes a lot of sense for Secret here. They have the last pick, though, so they'll get to see what hero Miracle decides to take up. He could play Necrophos. I would not recommend that, though. I think Miracle is best suited on a different hero.
I'm definitely inclined to agree. I think it's going to be a Matomba Man Necrophos. I also think he's the one who plays that hero almost exclusively on that team. And Mind Control, I expect to play Legion.
Okay. Team Liquid really taking their time. The last ban and last.
Well, this ban's tough because you have to pick a hero and then you need to ban a hero that you think is good against the hero that you're picking.
One of the teams are, it's the last game for one of them, so.
And they went aggro last time.
Great analysis, Pycat.
Thanks.
You're really on top of it.
Oh, they're going to take their time, right?
I've been impressed.
They're not going to rush it.
You're killing it on the panel.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, Team Secret's lineup is a really intimidating one to be up against, especially with the instant stun from Rubik, the mobility from Spirit Breaker and Nature's Prophet. The ban is Lycan and Troll Warlord.
PBD is not happy right now.
That disgusting creature.
Well, they definitely have someone who can take down towers now.
Yeah, they do. They can group up and they can definitely siege, have that Coddle heals, Witch Doctor heals, Legion Commander to back them up with press the attack, and just watch Troll smack at those towers.
And they have some scary timings, right? Like whatever daytime when he gets his axe, like the amount of heal they have.
I'm worried.
Like
about
look at this damage. Okay, let's see.
How is Quap gonna have an impact? Oh, Luna.
Damn.
Wow.
That is unexpected.
Yeah.
They are good.
Is he going to come online early enough? Are they going to go aggro? Is that the play here?
They better win the early game, or else I feel like they're going to be in some major trouble.
Well, we've yet to see Luna in yesterday's or today's games. Very intimidating hero, especially given those Mask of Madness builds giving a lot of farm. Let's throw it on down to the casters for the final game of Team Liquid versus Team Secret.
It all comes down to this. Liquid, Secret, Game 3, and Luna comes out. Lumi, are you surprised?
A little bit, but at the same time, a very powerful mid-game fighting tool, right? That's one of the strengths of Luna. You get that level 6, you see some sort of action going in the jungle or at the shrine, you pour in there and you just turn a fight. I think Team Secret, their goal is definitely going to be winning the lane stage. You got both Spirit Breaker as well as the Yapzor Rubik. They are so mobile across the map, and they're going to try to win at least 2 out of the 3 lanes.
Potentially very strong lanes, but they are pretty squishy here across the board. So if they overextend even slightly, an Illuminate can instantly mean like half your HP's team is gone, and there's certainly lots of chasing potential the other way once the Legion and the Troll come online. So Game 3 upon us. Whose draft do you like better overall?
I think it's pretty even. They're both very strong at different timings, but I'm going to go with Team Liquid.
Okay.
I believe in their timing. I believe once they get their Ags and all that jazz, they're going to be able to push and finish the game. But the ultimate question is, can they get to the timing? That's where Team Secret is stronger. Stop them.
And when we saw Puppy so disruptive on his Spirit Breaker, was involved in pretty much every early kill. As the teams enter the field of battle, one of them is going home. Liquid versus Secret, Kuro versus Puppy. Game 3, live at Key Arena. Here we go. The teams creep out. Some early smoke rotations looming. I haven't seen this kind of aggression in the laning stage this series. Puppy, the man in front. Okay, just a ward for now. Yep.
Both teams getting the critical mid ward off without being detected, so.
We do occasionally in these elimination games, we do see teams actually go for like that 3-4 hero committed smoke, try to find the first blood.
Oh, don't remind me.
But not this.
Cloud9 TI5, smoke into Roche, level 1. It was a disaster.
30 seconds.
But it made for great TV, right?
It made for great memes.
That is for sure.
All right, it seems like both teams are quite reserved. We don't see any kind of aggressive invade. I do believe, like, for example, Team Secret took 3 runes last game. But both teams are going to be playing it safe and standard. How effective do you think the Spirit Breaker will be this game compared to game 1? There's a little bit more stun this time around. There's that press the attack from Legion to help out allies. There's 4 heals.
I mean, I look
Puppey's going to go off.
I look at the laning stage, like, how many actual interruptions do they have there? They have Cask. That is it. Later on in the game, yeah, I think they're fine against the charge. Like, charging into those 5 is suicide, but I still look at this laning stage, like, there's a lot of heroes that don't have a way to interrupt the charge. You also have a Nature's Prophet to add as a +1, something they did not have in game 1. So I think there's openings here for Puppey, but it all comes down to, like, the vision game. Will Liquid identify where he wants to attack from? Those vectors, will they anticipate them better? Yeah, maybe they position right early. We'll see. And, you know, certainly they don't have the plus damage of the Drow. That's another thing to keep in mind. The first charge on the mid, just a little zoning on Matumba Man, but they are going to get some extra auto attacks in here, force him back, and meanwhile bottom, looks like Secret were trying to get aggressive on mind control.
Yeah, this is going to be their point of the attack with the mind control LC as well as the GH Kato. They just basically spam you out with both overwhelming odds as well as Illuminate, but there is no overwhelming odds just yet, and we're going to see a charge coming in. Luna not level 2 just yet, so I don't think she could be able to assist in this kill.
Puppey already, I mean, to be fair, it was hard to have a faster start than game 1, which is probably the most impactful laning stage Spirit Breaker I've ever seen, but a much slower start here.
I really like what Liquid is doing with the draft. They want to put a very offensive dual off lane. And basically, the goal is to basically force both the Rubik and the Spirit Breaker to help out the Luna. If you can force both the supports there, then the mid lane gets a true 1v1. You know, we've seen mid struggle for Team Liquid in the past, but if this is true 1v1, I think Matumba Man's going to do fine. As I say that though, he gets blinked on, has to activate the Ghost Shroud, and mid one is doing a great job right now controlling that mid lane.
Matumba Man is getting crushed pretty heavily here.
9 to
9 to 3-0 of Matumba. Now, to be fair, Matumba normally not a mid player, and when he goes mid, it's on, you know, it's normally in a very advantaged matchup like the last pick Brood, which has no counter, that type of thing. But mid one is really putting the heat on him early. Just that tiny bit of help that Puppey gave. You see mind control off to the jungle. They're actually going to leave this bottom lane entirely to GH. The Apsor now with the haster, and they try to anticipate which way is best to go, and they decide on bottom. There is no vision of this for GH, and he's in trouble now. Lifted back in, straight into the charge. There is a point in the Lucent Beam, so no escape for GH. The connection is there. First blood to Secret.
Yeah, and if you look at the mini-map, on the bottom side of the map, there's nothing to see the movement of Puppey. No wards, nothing. And he just, it's freely. Like, he charges bottom again.
And they're just going to keep this pressure going. Onto mind control this time, a bit of a tougher kill. It's still only a level 2 Luna, but the body blocks are there. They're going to need this lift to come through. The timing's good. Bashed away, though, and do they have the damage? Press the attack says no. They do have this Nature's Prophet, meanwhile, as Kezu fishing for the courier mid, but wisely Liquid do anticipate it. They'll wait for the upgrade. So a bit of a wasted moment. Could have been a huge roll of momentum forward.
Very smartly by mind control. A lot of LC just gets the overwhelming odd, you know, at least by level 2, but he saved the skill point and gets himself to press the attack. As a result, he was able to survive against that gank. We'll try to jungle it up.
If Liquid win this game, pubs are going to be a disaster.
But no, at least he started in the offlane. You know,
and sat there for, you know, all of a minute. Jungle Legion. Just don't get an Iron Talon mind control.
I mean, if he plans to jungle, then you might as well do get the Iron Talon.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Keeper of the Light definitely benefits from the experience, and so much of this Liquid draft is pushed that you can understand the reasons, right? Like, that early Ags, those early points in Illuminate, even just getting the recall is what will fuel the push. So the more space that GH gets, the more quickly that they can start to develop that momentum.
Really like the way that mind control, or rather, sorry, Kezu has been playing his Nature's Prophet. Always sending out his Treants everywhere. Send one to the runes, send one to possibly deny the boundary rune away from the other side. Small things, but like you said, LD, this game is a game of inches. Small things add up.
The lane's definitely going heavily in favor of Secret here. Already over 1,000 gold lead. And now a DD rune up on mid one, putting the hurt on Matumba. He does have the 2 points in Scream, has to respect that Ghost Shroud, but just a couple of pokes from Autotex. He can probably commit for the kill, and certainly if the Nature's Prophet comes in, certainly if there's a charge from Puppey, I think Liquid recognize that Mutumba is very vulnerable right now. Just gets the stick, he's pretty poor in this lane, only 14 CS, even now. They are setting up.
You can see that GH is definitely kind of recognizing the play pattern in all of these games. I do believe this is like the first time he kind of rotated mid.
But I don't know if he can actually save Mutumba. Puppey, this backstab charge through the trees worked before. It could work again. Mutumba, as the wave pushes in, has to deal with the Sonic Wave as well, but his positioning is fantastic here, way behind the tower.
He's going to get cut off. Look at Yapster coming in the south side.
Now, not so fantastic. Charge comes through. They do get the bash. Gets off the Ghost Shroud, but he doesn't have anything to heal him during this time. Then comes the Quapple, and down goes Kuro 2. Secret. The 2-for-1 special.
So on paper, when you have these kind of kills,
they're looking for the answer back.
4-man overwhelming odds. Mind Control can't run in.
Oh. And Liquid commit 4 heroes rotating onto this lane. Now they've all got to scramble back. GH swinging back towards bottom. Mind Control also probably back to the woods. You know, that's probably the worst scenario for them, that they all try to come and help mid. They all try and hold the lane, and
yeah, we're going to watch this
still give up the kills.
One more time. You know, the beauty of having these heals and sustains that you could survive long enough for your ally supported, but the Sonic Wave just lined up too. And MP is definitely happy about that one.
Yeah, he threw the heal out and then dropped the Ghost Shroud. I don't actually think it matters there. They had 4 heroes and so much damage. He dies anyway, but just made it that easier. And perhaps Mutumba not feeling comfortable in this mid lane up against 10K MOR player who is playing like it's an elimination game. Mid 1 is making him work for it. So what now for Liquid, Lumi? It's been a bad start as far as the lanes go. They have this strong 5-man push. Are they just playing defense? Do you want to see them make some aggressive maneuvers and try to open up the map?
I think they play defense, and they're good at that. You know, you have the TP coming in with press the attack, with the cask. You can turn some fights around under your tower, but unfortunately, as they're doing that, they're going to further lose out on the lanes. One thing that they got going this game compared to game 1 is that Puppey is kept under control, right? You don't have a Spirit Breaker that's, you know, killing everybody. And as a result, when the mid game comes, the Spirit Breaker becomes a fairly ineffective hero compared to, you know, like think of a Night Stalker or a Kunkka, for example.
Yeah, what he adds later on is quite limited. There's, you know, no big ultimate that he can at least interrupt with like a Nether Strike, no channeling Black Hole or something like that. So,
I mean, to be fair, like what he is doing, even though he's not getting kills for the team, is that he's putting pressure. Like,
look at this. They actually have a ward, and they want to punish Puppey. 4 heroes rotating in.
I mean, there's no stuns.
There's one stun. Out comes the cast. Kuro says, "Let's get him, boys!" But
okay,
4 heroes fighting. There's about to be a Quapple. This could really go poorly. Kezer joins the party. Secret say, "Great, we'd love to take this fight in the river." They bring down the Necrophos. That's a huge loss for only a Spirit Breaker. Still the Quapple available. Necro is a hero that cannot afford to die a lot early. He's not the best turbo farmer. He's also very squishy naturally.
He's also got this, you know, less last hits than Quap's Deny, right? Like, he's just not doing well, and he needs to... I mean, even though he died there, he was able to get a kill right before, so it does help out his economy a little bit. To me, though, Mirko is being able to free farm in an advantage matchup in his lane. He needs to come up big.
Is Troll a hero that can do it? Like, do you view Troll as something like an Alchemist, an Invoker who can take the game over?
I don't think so. I mean, it depends on the items you go for. You do see some Troll Warlords going for like a second item, like let's say Shadow Blade or even Blink Dagger, and just be very active over the map. But I don't think that's going to be how Liquid plays it.
His best hero is like Ursa.
Sure.
And Ursa with Empower can actually keep open farm and be effective in the lane.
In regards to just taking that seer away from VP, is that just, would you describe that as Virtus Pro comfort territory? That's just where they fall back to if things aren't going to plan?
I've seen a lot of Darkseer and Sven from them throughout this tournament. One of the few teams to make Darkseer really work well.
And they actually picked it the first 2 as well, so they're not afraid to just like show what they are going to do, and they can actually make it work as well.
Yeah, they're confident in it. They're not afraid of encounters coming out, or they feel like they can ban effectively around it.
VP is one of the teams that actually, they're not afraid to show their lineup over draft in the like first 2, and they're like one of the teams that seems like they want to have a good lineup themselves more than countering the opponent.
Yeah, we've seen Solo first pick himself a lot of Witch Doctor and Ogre, which aren't really counter picks to any specific heroes generally, just they offer your team things.
I mean, Rasmus, is there a balance to be struck with that? You know, drafting for yourself as opposed to deliberately trying to get.
I think specifically Virtus Pro is probably one of the most confident teams that you find. I'm very surprised how confident they always seem to be when they're playing majors and tournaments in general. They always just pick Magnus Troll first two. They don't really care what you're gonna do. It's more like try and beat us. You know what we're gonna do. Try and beat it now. So yeah, it's definitely something that they don't mind that much.
For those watching, Virtus Pro recently at the Summit picked unique heroes throughout the entire tournament, every single game up until Game 5 of the finals, which then they just picked their favorite heroes and won the tournament. It was I was there casting. It was.
What were the favorite heroes there?
It was like.
Do you remember?
Ursa, Magnus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Just that was the only game that they repeated heroes. They brought out all these old strategies, Shadow Demon Luna, Magnus and Power plus melee heroes.
And still made the run to the final.
And won the tournament.
We are seeing Crystal Maiden come to play.
That hero's bad.
It really upsets me because all it does is remind me of Slacks now.
She's just really slow. I think she's down to 270 MS.
She has gotten nerfed to the point where it feels almost unplayable. However, I feel if she comes online, she can still make the lineup very fast. Like she does give the aura to all your heroes, and the thing is, she jungles fairly quickly still if you get the right camps, and
it's okay.
And actually, like just this lineup against Lich and Kunkka supports, it can actually work because like none of them are heroes that is gonna go into your jungle and just kill you. Like Lich is gonna stand on a lane, and Kunkka is gonna try to gank some like mid or safe lane.
That's so but whatever lane VP decides to put up against the Lich is really going to struggle. I don't think Crystal Maiden is going to be able to help out at all there. I think her best efforts are going to be in the jungle, getting a quick level 3, probably 2 points in aura, and letting Night Stalker run around and grab as many bounty runes and have mana for constant voids.
Keep your eyes on them. Now, the Lich hasn't been discussed as much. In fact, we haven't actually got to hear your opinion on this, because the International 7 has been plagued by Lich. It's been kind of the hero of the draft, at least in the group stages. What's your take on it? Something you've been playing around with as well?
Yeah, I actually felt like I was one of the only people that appreciated Lich when he was where he was never picked around.
Back in the day.
Yeah, like a few months ago even. The hero has definitely become stronger as the game has developed a bit throughout this tournament. It feels like the 5 position doesn't really have that much of a place as much as it used to. Sure. The pull is pretty weak. It's hard to zone the off lane. There's usually a lot of pressure on the safe lane though. I feel like it's this hero has a lot of potential now. He can go to any lane, like Aka mentioned the other day, and you know, he gets his own experience, he gets his own sustain, he can armor towers. I mean,
he always has an impact.
Yeah.
And a lot of other 5 heroes just don't have that, especially in the laning phase.
Right. So getting that additional impact, and whilst you do say that, it does seem like it's quite polarizing when you have a Lich played correctly and incorrectly. Could you shed a little insight, Peter, as to what like Lich's kind of checklist is going to be? I mean, you yourself have said that stats don't tell you everything. Bad teams can pick the same hero. Lich, I mean, we've seen Cloud9, they tried to draft it. They were one of the few to chase the Chinese with it and could not make it work. What does a bad Lich look like in comparison to a good?
Bad Lich or a good Lich?
Is that a tough question?
It's definitely a tough question.
Just using the abilities in the right way.
Might be more based off the team and how they built around
the opponents, I would say, because the Ice Army is what's going to make him good in the late game. So if they're up against a lot of physical damage, now they actually pick Sven against it. So now Lich is actually quite good for them.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of bad Lich games where the Lich moves around a lot and he chooses the wrong lane to be in. It's, you know, you want to set him up against somebody to slow them down. You know, if you're worried about.
He's also an enabler in a sense, right? What do you put with the Lich? There are certain heroes that can be very effective. You put a Centaur with a Lich and give him armor, you know, he's pretty much untouchable there.
You can pick a weaker laner. We've seen.
You can.
Morphlings.
Exactly.
Paired up with that Lich.
Doom has been picked with Lich as well a lot. It's also why VP is banning it as well in the second phase there.
You've got VP Sven. Talked about that beforehand, and Beastmasters.
That could work as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if he gets a couple of levels to level up the boars, then he can be very annoying.
That is very strong for sure. This is a hero that nobody really plays except for LGD, right?
Not often picked into Night Stalker, but if you build a Vlad's first and you become this like 5-man pushing hero, you can almost counter what Night Stalker does for your team.
I actually remember how like OG back in the day doing like in Frankfurt Major and stuff like that, they actually felt that Beastmaster was kind of the counters Night Stalker, because he did give you some kind of vision, right? And you had the boars to push out the lane. You got your book. You can like rat a bit. Night Stalker doesn't like that with summons.
There's a
stuff like that.
Sven and a CM though to help deal with that Necro book.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can force towers with him as well with his passive aura. It makes the tower pushes.
It's not a it's a pretty vague matchup, I think.
So you guys are a fan of the pick?
I think it could work, but it's not something that I would pick for my team.
Let's see what they have planned here, because I think the hero is very versatile overall, and I think it's underappreciated at the moment.
That's looking like a Pasha Omni Knight in the off lane.
Yeah. Could be an aggro Trident, perhaps, to counter out the Lich idea, maybe, and then they put the Omni Knight against the Beastmaster or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be a tough lane for him, but Omni Knight, you know, with a little bit of sustain from the heal, could potentially manage the harassment from Lich's Frost Nova in the lane phase.
I think they probably don't mind that much putting Omni Knight against just Lich Beastmaster. He's gonna be fine there.
He's gonna farm at least, though.
But now there's a Troll, which is pretty decent in lane overall, so the aggro Trident might not be the best idea.
They are gearing up to group up and push against this Night Stalker, I think. I think that's something that Virtus Pro is lacking a bit, is the team fight. Crystal Maiden offers a little bit, Night Stalker next to none. Sven, he has a hard time getting into fights until he gets a Blink Dagger and a BKB. But even when he does get that BKB, he's still going to be dealing with that roar from Beastmaster.
And surely that's something Virtus Pro would have been aware of. By drafting it first, they knew that that would give the freedom to LGD to build towards that. They knew that that was coming.
They knew that Omni Knight was coming?
Well, no, they knew that the LGD would try and build it to counter that Night Stalker.
True.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so Virtus Pro trying to get some more team fights so they can actually defend their towers.
5 seconds remaining.
With an Omni Knight.
You got Casey and Slack.
They need some kind of powerful mid hero here, right? They need.
Nice.
Yeah.
Casey and Slacks on Virtus Pro here.
Yeah, they're representing. I think Casey pulled off the facial hair better, right?
Slacks is looking a little slim.
He lost all the weight, didn't he?
He's looking good.
It's looking fine. Who could cosplay as Sven? That's the real question. Talent team. I think PT, you could rock a Sven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more like a Fly. Kinda.
Yeah, that's more.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's get
Fly
Fly
kind of thing.
A little skinny, I think.
We'll get you down the gym. Give Blitz 6 months. He'll be there as well.
Night Stalker's ripped.
True.
Him and his blue buddy Sven. Jim
There is
Bros.
a recurring blue theme, and we have, as with all the drafts that are manned by me, gone on to a topic of aesthetics. Good job, Alex. Solid work.
Yeah,
Waiting for LGD's draft.
You're definitely derailing the panel.
That's my job, yeah. That's what they were like. Day9's keeping it on topic too much. Jump in and talk some nonsense.
You want to talk StarCraft?
Sure, man.
Medusa banned from Virtus Pro. I like that. Medusa's one of the hard counters to Sven because you can cast Stone Gaze even during his BKB when he's looking to connect the majority of his damage. He's got to turn and run away instead of fight. Necrophos, the last pick.
It fits well with the other heroes, as we said before, that they really want to push and push the tower, so now they actually have some sustain and heal.
What do you think VP's looking at?
Yeah, this is the big question.
The DP would be good for them, I think, but it's banned out. Queen of Pain's banned as well.
Puck?
I think Puck is a little bit on the weak side for their lineup.
You want more firepower?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want something stronger. I see.
Is the
Invoker?
Invoker is not banned. No, Invoker could be. They have some
no one here,
setups. Yeah. I could see maybe Storm Spirit being good, but it might be a little bit
OD?
Storm.
They have like
right.
Beast ulti, and they have Kunkka X as well. I don't know.
I think Storm looks good, but the problem is if it comes a bit too slow. But they do have Repel. They have like Omni Knight heal.
They
They have CM Aura.
CM Aura. I think it's
Nighttime Storm would be good.
You may now
Lina.
select
All right.
your
I mean that's a class they would lead with.
She hasn't
CM
been
too,
picked
right?
so much lately
Yeah.
compared to before. She was very popular during the qualifiers.
I mean, you said they needed firepower, and they get quite literal firepower from Lina. Omni Knight, Sven, Crystal Maiden, and Night Stalker. Now, the question is, and it has to be asked, okay, throwing this one towards you in terms of, is there a draft that you significantly like more than the other?
I think LGD has a more clear plan of what they want to do, and Virtus Pro kind of ended up in a way there where like they had to try to counter LGD's lineup instead.
They're going to be reacting a lot in this game. Those team fights are going to be out on top.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. We're going to go ahead and continue to top up our tan as we go ahead and jump into another fantastic game here at TI7. Your casters are waiting in the
10
wings.
seconds remaining.
Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. Welcome to what promises to be a real barn burner of a showdown. Lumi, we've got LGD taking on VP. VP, the last Western hope remaining in the upper bracket. They've got a very fearsome opponent here.
Do you have to pay copyright to use that line?
No, that's just my homage to AC. I miss him, man. I miss his hype. You know, it's the best I can do.
Well, I got to tell you, I think out of all of teams coming out from China, I personally think that LGD is the strongest one.
Really?
Yes. You know,
Wow.
6-8 months ago when I was casting LGD on these online games, they were just kind of muscling people down just off the raw skill of Ame and Maybe, or Somnus as he's tagged up in this game. But in the last 2 to 3 months, I felt like they have a complete package. Yao has been literally out that I've casted their game. So they have made the final evolution. You got the raw skills, you got the draft, and now they are ready to take down TI, I think.
Yeah, looking at this LGD team, you know, like the old storyline for Yao, you go back to TI3, LGD got bounced by Liquid. That was a huge upset at the time. And then Xiao8 left. Xiao8 moved on to Newbie. He won a TI without any of his old teammates, and so the question became, like, were they holding him back? Did Xiao8 just need to get away from, not just Yao, but everyone else on that team, Sylar, who was with him at the time. Now it seems like maybe we've come full circle, and Yao has finally fully stepped in that role as a captain, as a drafter, as a leader, and has taken LGD very far. But that said, they've got a fearsome opponent here, and VP want to get this party started, and guess who they find? The Jinx is in, and Yao down for the count.
Giving up first blood to no one, that is not a good sign here for your mid player. Every time you see your support give up first blood, you're the mid, you're like, dang it, why'd you gotta be there? But that will give Somnus, or I guess for the remainder of cast, I would refer him as Maybe. He's better known for that tag. Or do you think we should?
No, we can call him
Maybe. All right. Thank you for giving me the permission, Ellie. I appreciate that.
I asked his agent. He said it was okay.
Cool. Yeah, that does secure him the rune, but still, big, heavy win here for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, early first blood for them, and now I think while we wait for these lanes to unfold, you know, we look at VP's lineup, so much of this game is going to be dictated by Lil on the Night Stalker and enabled by Solo on the Crystal Maiden. I know the panel mentioned, you know, PPD said it's not a good hero right now. Do you think it can be a good hero this game, or is it going to be a liability, you know, all game long against what LGD bring to bear?
Are you talking about the Omni?
The Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden. I think she will be fine. She's going to be mostly staying the lane. One of her strongest or weakest point is that she's so slow, and this patch is really about contesting the bounty runes. But she's going to let the Night Stalker to do most of the bounty picking. So
she's here, do you think, mainly for the aura to give a little bit of extra experience?
Her allies, all 4 of them, takes advantage of the allies extremely well, especially with Lina on the mid lane spamming away, as well as Omni Knight. Definitely needs a mana to keep himself gassed up on the top lane.
Often when we see the Omni, it is with some super carry that really takes advantage of the repel. Like, in theory, they do have that with maybe the Sven, maybe the Lina. However, there is some lockdown to go through that, whether it's the Night Stalker ultimate, the Necrophos, Reaper Sight stun, or potentially, you know, just looking at some troll bashes. So
bottom lane?
Not automatic that will be a good lockdown, but 11 does get caught out here in the bottom lane. Good pick to start things off for VP. They get 2-0 early. They're also pulling during this time. So this bottom lane seems clearly won, at least for now. Yao staying there for the moment. Curious to see if he makes a rotation as he's being bullied a bit in the river. The board's going to lend him a bit of an assist as Lil makes his journey towards the middle lane, running away from that board now, wrapping back in. So they're leaving the Lich bottom. And I want to ask you, do you like the Lich staying here? Do you think he could be more effective or useful elsewhere?
Well, not if he's giving up kills like that, right? I think the idea here is what exactly IG did yesterday. Remember they ran the Sand King Lich in the off lane? They want to control this lane and just solely win, but instead they're just giving kills after kills after kills. Crystal Maiden.
No more mana here on VP, so they won't be able to get the follow-up, but it's now 2 deaths in the lane. It's a 3rd kill on this bottom half of the map, and you really have to wonder, are they going to make an adjustment? Yao TP's in again. He's going to deny that range creep, so content to at least try and slow the stun down, but
I think LGD is just getting a little bit too ahead of themselves. Lich as a laner gets really, really strong at level 2 and 3. Not as strong at level 1. It felt like they give away a little bit too much when they don't have any ability to fight. You take Sacrificer 1, you're a glorified range creep, just stay back. And unfortunately, they got punished pretty hard.
That does mean 11 is on his own though, and they're moving in again, looking to punish the Lich.
Yeah, and this is where Lich gets stronger in the lane, right? You put the Frost armor on 011, and he's got 7 armor. with the, of course, the attack slow applied to them when you do attack him. So he should be absolutely fine. And still, this lane is not winning for LGD, but eventually it will win.
So how about the other lanes? In the mid lane, no one. Duke it out with Maybe here. For a while, Maybe widely considered to be by far the best mid in China. Nowadays, I think some would say SCCC can challenge him for that crown, but certainly one of the premier mids. And doing well early on against no one, a slight edge in CS. He's getting a little help from Victoria. They are moving in while simultaneously in the bottom lane, the Frost Armor saving the day. Can they get this no one killed? Alina's low, about to fall. Crucial that LGD gets this. Not dead yet, and no one makes it out.
Wow. I think maybe used his Ghost Shroud a little bit too early. I think he could have gotten an extra attack or two, not taking into account of the Ghost, the Fairy Fire that the Lina activated. So slight mistake there by Maybe, but still having the lane advantage. Great gank from the Kunkka, giving their mid a little bit of advantage there.
The last lane that we haven't really looked at is Pasha on this off-lane Omni Knight, who for now is getting his experience. Already level 4. They haven't been able to force him out of the lane, although they are going to try with the turret now. He's relatively low, has the level 2 heal, still the pursuit. They're going to be looking for some timely bashes. He gets pulled back by an X, but the creep wave comes in, and Pasha will be absolutely fine. So the early laning stage definitely belongs to VP, and now Wolf Howl's nighttime kicks in, and Lil starts to get aggressive. All those kills, Lumi, they're coming in daytime, but now VP can ramp up the aggression.
One of the downside of this defensive tri-lane for Virtus Pro is that they're not getting that much level. You have 3 kills on the lane, and your Night Stalker is still level 2. And that's just kind of a byproduct of Crystal Maiden nowadays. She used to be a very efficient jungler. And Lich, yeah. Of course, more so than the Lich, the CM. But now it looks like the Night Stalker will be roaming to the mid lane to perhaps set up a kill. And Maybe is relatively low.
Yeah, it does Ghost Shroud up. Has a few stick charges available as well. So VP aren't going to be able to commit for that kill. You in fact see 4 LGD heroes in the vicinity, just ready for a potential dive while also trying to farm the woods. And one thing about this Night Stalker pick is the presence of the Beastmaster. I think very important to talk about. It might not be the easiest Night Stalker game. There's always vision if the Beastmaster position's right. So VP can't just count and bank on being able to dive towers with impunity. There could well be a punish and anticipation from the LGD side.
I do want to point out this ward that Virtus Pro lay out in the very beginning of the game, overseeing the Ancients. That's something that Lich offlanes would like to do, especially with the Beastmaster in the game. And of course, when you have a Sven, if you do know that there is going to be a stack, you can't easily steal it after a good fight. So I think that's definitely something that Virtus Pro will be looking towards to do.
11 feeding his Hawk into the waiting arms of Solo, who is now just dual laning as the Night Stalker continues his journey around the world, heading towards the top lane. Didn't really see an opening there. In fact, the Lich also making the rotation. I think he was hiding in fog, just waiting for that potential Night Stalker dive, and they're going to go again on the bottom lane. 11 could be in trouble here with the Frostbite coming out. He doesn't have the plus armor, the attack speed slow not there, and down he will go. Brutal start indeed. VP up 4 kills. Great start for them. They're not really that far ahead, all things considered, Lumi. LGD still farming well and otherwise keeping the game relatively close. But I guess the question is, how do LGD get back in this game? What is their strategy moving forward?
LGD needs a lot of levels on their heroes before they can do a lot. I mean, Maybe is level 6, so he could start rotating around and set up some kills, but not before he gets ganked here. 3-man rotation.
Not where he wants to be. Laguna comes out, stick up pop, but it was after the Ghost Shroud. He could be in danger. Then the Torrent comes through. The ult from the Necro, they get the kill. CM down. At least a small trade, but the Lil looking for more. Wants some revenge. It's a double for no one. It could be a triple. Lil wanting to chase, but no one. Doesn't want to commit with those quick respawns coming through. Much bigger victory here. VP grabbing cores, only giving up supports, continuing to extend their lead. 6-1 now.
Remember when the question was proposed at the panel, what is a bad Lich game? You're watching it right now. Lich is supposed to give you the lane advantage. You're not supposed to fall 6-1 behind. You're not supposed to be losing out on so much gold. He was picked for this off lane, they didn't win off the lane. And now he's kind of rotating around, and that's not the reason why you pick Lich. Moving forward in the mid game, he's really going to be lost in terms of what he can do. Smoke gang going up top.
Yeah, you pick the Lich, you'd love to have passive lanes, but Ame getting trapped out. The Troll eats the heal bomb, mauled down. Virtus Pro continue to gain steam here, revving up the plow. They are in full control now, but soon this nighttime will end. And we'll see if LGD can start to get some momentum back their way. Ramsey's left alone bottom. There is Soon going to be a Primal Roar available. LGD might be able to make a move, actually baiting this one. 11 doesn't have his level 6 yet, though. He's just going to give up a free kill. No, maybe not. Victoria, big save from him. The Torrent comes through, and now the slow. Just looking to retreat, though, as Lil's on the chase. Doesn't have the mana. He gets baited in. Now from the side comes maybe with the flank. The ult's cooling down 1 second. He won't get the bonus death time on the Night Stalker, but they do salvage the fight. And now Beastmaster level 6. LGD even bringing the Troll in for that engagement. They might be looking to push off.
They're going to steal this big stack. Ame, I believe that was a 3 to 4 big stack here, and they just cleaned it up. That was supposed to be a Sven, so that engagement, not only did Ramses not get the kill that he intended to go for, it also lost pretty big economically to LGD. I think that was a pretty good comeback here.
And look at the transition from LGD. They get the kill, and they're just going to group up the Beastmaster and the Troll together and force the fight. They're diving onto Solo, but reinforcements are arriving. Pasha wants to take this. He's got the heal. That's going to bring the Troll low. Now Ame needs to back away. Where's the follow-up? Still that Primal Roar available, but nobody on VP low enough to continue this aggression. So a good job by Pasha of blunting the onslaught, and now VP going to settle down a little bit. LGD forced to back away. This is the time where their lineup starts to ramp up in the push department, Lumi, but don't have a point in that Troll ult just yet. No battle trance, so perhaps not quite ready to go for it.
No, I think they definitely need a little bit more levels before they could actually group up for a concentrated push. I'm also worried moving forward in this mid game. I feel like Naim Pasha's Omni Knight is just going to be way too big. He got too much in that laning stage. Maybe walking into a gank squad, but looks like he's going to be okay.
3 heroes from LGD looking to dive. Still no ultimate on the Lich. We have often seen the Chain Trials come out. 2 heroes stunned by Ramses. Good connection to start. Now the heal to follow. Chasing the back. The Lina comes through. Clutches the kill. And now 11 in danger. Continues his retreat, but the onslaught is there. VP storming forward. The Roar has to be committed just to get back safely. And still the stun's going to take him. Solo isn't even needed for this kill. No one scores. Another Virtus Pro are on fire early.
Meanwhile, Night Stalker successfully TPs out from a gank up top. Yeah, they are winning pretty much every single lane, every single engagement. And LGD is a lineup that I think needs to get a little bit more done in the laning stage. I don't think you could just be like, okay, we're going to scale better in late game. LGD does not have that kind of lineup against a Lina and a Sven.
It is, you know, to emphasize the point you were making before the action broke out earlier, like, you pick Lich, you'd love to have a very passive laning stage. Just sit back, win through the war of attrition, through constant sacrifices, but they fought a lot early, and those were not favorable engagements. It was before the Lich got his level advantage, before the sacrifices kicked in, and then VP have been able to snowball it since. So I suppose a small silver lining for LGD is that VP has not been able to stack much. Still no Ancient stack on either camp as of yet.
LGD smoked next to the shrine, spotted out by a well-placed Observer Ward by Virtus Pro.
Feeling the pressure to make something happen with this Necrophos. Did go for that early Veil. Obviously, armor will be essential against the Sven.
Yeah, LGD just gives up the gank. They kind of know that maybe they got spotted.
Even a Radiant scan coming in. It's not actually going to detect Victoria, but this might free up the push bottom anyway. With 11's army of boars stacking up, perhaps LGD will commit. Sneaking in from the side, Victoria gets down a key deep ward. So far, so good for VP, though. They have mostly thwarted these ganks now, letting the darkness fall and closing in on natural nighttime. They look to defend this tier 1. Still no towers claimed. LGD, their lineup was predicated on taking at least 1 tower by now.
Or at least doing a ton of damage to it, which they have on the bottom side. But I think LGD definitely not happy with how their early game going. I think, critically speaking, look at Victoria's level. He's level 5. He's trying to smoke around with his team and set up kills, but without the Ghost Ship, I don't think they have enough damage to really kind of put people low enough for that Reaper. Scythe maybe has really even given up ganking with the team. He says, look, I need to get level 12. I'm going to just farm up, and you guys worry about yourself.
Thing is, they're so reliant on the Reaper Scythe to complete kills, and you've got an Omni Knight to worry about with a level 3 repel. So the uptime is quite high, and very likely, while you might get the stun, you're unlikely to be able to dish out the damage needed for the kill.
Yeah, LD, I gave you that little look when they picked Necrophos into the Omni Knight. Generally, Omni Knight's seen as one of the better heroes to pick against the Necros.
Unless you crush the lanes really hard.
Which they didn't. So, you know, LGD is in a lot of trouble. Mid lane looks like the rotation is coming in. Are they going to make that dive? Or maybe?
Maybe trying to tank up now as he works his way back towards a hood. Still Lil eyeing his prey, but rather reinforced hide. I'll have to choose for if he wants to get that kill. But while this is all going on, Pasha just getting some precious me time top. He takes the tower down uncontested. At this rate, we might just see like a straight Midas or Radiance coming out from Pasha. He's just getting all the farm in the world.
And there's no stopping him, at least not right now. Like, the only person that could really kill him is a dual gank of the Beastmaster Roar as well as the Reaper Sight.
Oh yeah.
But
easy GPM talent. Why not with the start he's had?
So what do you think he's going to go for? He's got the Midas queued up. Yeah, he's going for a...
I definitely think you go Midas. When you're already this highly leveled, like, you don't...
So what about the next item, though? Like, okay, Greaves. Good choice.
They do know LGD's 5-man is really strong in the mid-game, right? Once you get the key items, like I imagine Necro's going to try to complete a pipe. Lucy may be queuing that up now. Beastmaster, we'll see. For now, appears to be a Solar Crest. But they're likely to go for that 5-man push. They're likely to try to take Roche. So you do want at least something item-wise from Yami that lets you take fights. And I mean, Mech certainly fits the bill there. Actually, looks like he wants to change out for a 4-stack.
Okay.
But yeah, just something to help the team. Like, you can go back for something greedier later. But
sure. 4-staff seen as one of the best counter to Beastmaster Roar. You know, you spend a long cooldown ultimate for a single target hero. Boom, push him away and you're fine.
Can LGD finally make a smoke work for them? It's tough to do it at night. They are going to try. One showing himself mid for now. Did opt for the Yule Scepter on the Lina. LGD move in. Arcane Rune here, maybe. Gonna snag it, VP. Immediately looking to back away, and Victoria unable to get the initiation. So again, VP correctly anticipating these LGD movements. That's the third failed smoke for them. They have just had LGD's number all game long.
That was a very curious time to make that smoke. Hold on, I thought Old Levin's gonna get initiated and he's getting completely blown up. 5 VP heroes on the chase, Little flying forward, giving vision.
Pushing up the daisies now as VP starts to take this tower down. Tier 1 under siege. No frost armor on it even. Looks like that Lich is afraid to even get near the tower for the time being. So, in fact, the one hero who sticks around could be punished now. The Necrophos caught out. Good stun coming through from the Centaur. Lil with the micro skills, and now the Chain Frost committed, but the Omni's there to keep them alive.
Chain Frost?
TP's in. Still the Chain Frost bouncing. Keeps on bouncing. Still no kills. They need more damage. They want Pasha. They will get him. Can they find more on the retreat? Solo, dangerously low. The hero plays from Yao to try and keep his team in this game, but Centaur Stomp is available. Two times in a row. Lil with the huge plays going for that early Helm of the Dominator build on the Night Stalker.
That was a very poor timing to do the LGD smoke gank, in my opinion, because they did it during nighttime. Like, Night Stalker sees you before you see them.
And they did it blind. Like, sometimes we'll see teams smoke at night, but they at least have a ward, or they have some sort of vision advantage to set up for an easy kill.
They had one deep into the jungle, into the Radiant jungle, but I don't think that one saw any hero at that time. But finally, LGD with a slight momentary lead after that fight will take at least a tier 1 tower.
VP probably not in position to trade just yet as Ame cracks open the Mask of Madness. Raw attack speed so far for him. Grab the Yasha as well. It's the least important tower for their strategy though, as they really are a lot about the Roshan, but the Troll, the Beastmaster, heroes that can use the Aegis quite well potentially, like the Necrophos, who offers a lot on a second life.
Ramses, by the way, finishing a 4-stack Ancients, being stacked up by that little Centaur. Nice Stalker's friend.
Already grabbed the Oblivion Staff, I believe Echo Saber coming out soon, but either way, LGD working on this tower now, quickly chewing it down. VP don't want to contest just yet. They are waiting for their next round of items. They want to take a fight where LGD aren't already set up at a tower, so they're going to retreat for the time being.
This last minute and a half for LGD has been really good. They desperately need that gold going to some of these key heroes. 11 finishing that Solar Crest allows him to tank quite a bit. I wonder if he's going to go for a Blink BKB or Blink build this game.
No one could be in danger here. The Yule
Roar
there though is available. Quick Yule, but the Chain Frost locked in from distance. Roar comes through.
Give him the Reaper.
Gotta love the commitment from Yao there, and they do score the long duration.
Look at his respawn time, 66 seconds.
Yeah, that's big, and that is the thing about this LGD draft is even from a deficit, they're just so strong in the mid game. But here comes Lil again, hunting Victoria. Oh, Victoria down once more. Lil continues to make plays around the map. 3-1 and 6 on the Night Stalker. And doing it solo now.
So I do want to ask your opinion about the Night Stalker Helm of the Dominator build. Not something that we see too often, but the Centaur has been pretty effective so far.
Quite instrumental. We'll talk about it in a moment, but for now, LGD getting run over in the mid lane. A rain of ice coming down as Solo continues to dish out the damage. Even through the Ghost Shroud, they'll slay Ame and maybe both cores down for the count. They didn't have the Beastmaster there. Of course, the Kunkka had only just respawned and they didn't have the boat available. Costly mistake from LGD, underestimating VP's willingness to take the fight.
Yeah, there's no way that Troll Warlord could be in that kind of forward position without having a BKB. Look at how awkward it was as he got kind of pushed into the right side. If he had BKB there, maybe he could sit his ground fight, but they just got melted.
Yeah, he queues it up now. He's definitely going to need it as this game moves along. But
he needs both BKB and Diffusal Blade to actually counteract against Guardian Angel. That will be a big threat against them as well. So just a ton of items that LGD need. Unfortunately, they are just too poor.
Yeah, they need a ton of items as the game moves along. And, you know, even if you get that BKB, Lina is a very hard hitter with right clicks, assuming she goes for the damage talent.
You have Warcry to back you up.
You have to spend right clicks, so. Other thing I think to keep in mind is they have multiple targets that you really want to roar. Like, those are the two big ones. Maybe you could even make an argument for the Omni Knight so he can't save his teammates. But LGD, they're not frazzled by this bad turn of events. They're still going to try to go for the Roach. They've lost one already. Victoria down. Now Ame's in the pit, but he rushes out, wants to take the fight. Now it's the Chain Frost. He won't get it off, though. VP swarming to the point of attack. It's a Zerg rush from them. Locking out Ame, picking him off. Aegis instantly will be burnt and likely dies again. Stormbolt's pulled down, goes for the Whirling Axes, but surrounded and pounded. VP make it 3 plus an Aegis down. They are fearless here on the big stage.
Yeah, they gave away the Roshan, but you know they just took it right back very quickly and now invading into the enemy jungle. Do we have a second to talk about that Helm of the Dominator? Because Little has been microing out of his mind. Known as one of the best Visage players in the world. I guess this is Visage light as he's sending in the Centaur, stomping people and extending chain stuns, as well as allowing the Omni Knight to actually have a good healable target in the front line to do that big bomb damage.
It can also soak up, you know, a Chain Frost bounce and potentially just drag it away from your team. So
that Centaur also has stacked 4 Ancient Camps for his Sven. So
yeah, so you can basically do what you want to do at nighttime as a Night Stalker, and that's probably the biggest reason. Stay active, constantly pressure, while also still ensuring your economy is robust. So I think that's the most important aspect of it, and then the bonus is whatever it brings to you in an actual fight.
Sure. 10 attack speed also actually is quite nice for Night Stalker. Does get in quite a bit of right click, especially when he is in a 1v1 situation for support in jungle or something like that.
Still prowling about here as LGD starting to feel quite scared. It's a lineup that's meant to group up, take towers early, grab an Aegis, and use that to force objectives, but Lumi, they've gotten only 2 towers, and for their purposes, the least important 2, these 2 bottom tier 1s. It's not stopped VP from farming at all. VP's farming the northern half of the map without fear. LGD, if anything, the lineup that wants to be map controlling and playing from ahead is currently playing from a sizable disadvantage. 17-4, down 9k gold. How do they get back in this game?
Well, Reaper Scythe is a hell of a spell. You know, when the game goes longer, the respawn timer kind of adds more and more in terms of how effective it is. But I think they're getting closer and closer to a point where VP needs to go up the hill, dive a little bit too deep, and make a big mistake. For now, looks like the 2 teams will trade a tower. LGD does get the mid-tier 1, but here comes the backstab.
They want to fight. They're bringing in 5. The tower's low, but in goes Ramsey's head full of steam. Gets off the stun. Ame on the run, and from the rear comes Solo with the zoning. Ultimate meets the frost as he breaks down 3 with the help of his team. Now onto Somnus, and maybe no calls to be accepted by this Necrophos. He will drop as well, the lone survivor to tell the tale of sadness. The plow.
We're going to watch that one more time. You see in the front line, Sven just goes in, and on the back line, great rotation coming in, and they just cut off everybody. Crystal hit an ultimate, and like you said, it was a zoning one, that there was nowhere to go for LGD. They don't get a single player, and now tier 3 is being sieged on.
This is what we all knew VP was capable of. This was the reason why we saw swagger and confidence from Virtus Pro at past events. Some have knocked them for being overly confident, even cocky at times. As mentioned at the summit, going for the, you know, pick a different hero every game, never play a hero twice.
Hey, they want that
strategy.
tournament.
And they ended up winning the tournament, and perhaps it made them a bit stronger.
Now they come into TI and on the big stage, on the verge of finally taking a game off of one of these top Chinese dogs, as LGD find themselves on the ropes.
Yeah, so far I think LGD has not really shown up and played Dota just yet. They had resemblance of showing up and play Dota. They made some good moves, but ultimately, I think that they didn't execute the Dota that they want to play. The draft to me is not the draft that they intended to show right now.
I mean, biggest thing, is it just that they didn't get enough mileage out of the Lich for you?
Not just as Lich, but a laning stage as a whole, right? Like, Lich is a big part of it, obviously, but I think Beastmaster is supposed to do more in this stage of the game. Maybe supposed to be getting a Reaper scythe kill left and right. How many Reaper scythe kill have we seen? 1, 2?
I think just the one.
I mean, they have 4 kills, so we could, you know, count it up really quickly.
It's
so.
not more than 4.
Yeah. So, and of course, I've not felt the presence of this Troll Warlord. I mean, he's hit the tower a couple of times, he's gotten the Roche, but he's just not a big threat. He's gone for the Blink Dagger, which...
He still doesn't have the BKB, and the thing is,
right.
You mentioned he's not a big threat, like, he has to get a BKB. They have so many ways to deal with them otherwise. The blind from the Night Stalker with Crippling Fear, tons of slow chain stun galore with the Sven, the Lina, not to mention just the Omni Knight constantly nuking you down with the Purification. Like, he's not tanky enough to get away without a BKB, even if it's not a game-winning item.
Without a BKB, I don't think you kill anyone. Not even the Crystal Maiden. Like, Crystal Maiden could just Frostbite and run away.
Here they go. Moving in, the boat comes through, Ramsey's BKB, and now the fight. They're fighting around the shrine here. Do they commit forward? They want this Necrophos throwing in the Laguna, the Chain Frost to counter. The Torrent's there as well, but Big Daddy Sven in the house, forcing Yo on his heels. He runs back into that red sword of doom. And it seems it's destiny for VP to take this game. One of the first times we've seen a team GG out on the main stage before losing a second lane of Rax. LGD just got whopped.
I think Virtus Pro did everything correct. They won that bottom lane. 9Posh got way too much in his lane. Of course, Alina got the ganks that she needed mid, so she won there as well. Winning every single lane, winning every single engagement.
And they won the VP way. They won playing with incredible confidence, great mid-game teamfight execution, pushing the early advantage as much as possible. So for LGD, like, biggest thing to change, it feels like, gotta have a stronger laning stage for them going into that next game.
I think their draft was fine. It's one of those situations where you had a good game plan, you weren't able to execute it, so the LGD coach, you know, give him a slap on the back, be like, play better.
Maybe you don't even need the coach's input. You can already see Yao putting his arm around his teammates saying, like, guys, we got this. We got to put it back together. Let's calm down. It's a best of 3. Yep. We can adapt and bounce back. And this LGD team has done that. You know, one of their most recent results coming into this tournament was a 3-2 victory against LGD FY. So they know how to win a longer series.
Yep. Like you mentioned, coming into the series, can Yao be that man, you know? It used to be Xiao Wei. He used to live in the shadow of Xiao Wei. But now, can he step up and be the leader for his team? He's doing that right now, but let's see if the results will show it.
Well, no better test for him than the one that VP have put him to. They lead the best of 3 1-0. We'll get some more now.
Are they allowed to eat in the booth?
I was talking about the crowd. The crowd have their snacks, the players have their heroes. It was kind of something I was going for. It wasn't great.
Oh, I thought you said the players had snacks, like a little juice box.
Dude, I think you should totally be allowed that. You know, like a cheeky Skittle when you get a creep kill or something, or any other sweet.
Those cheese crackers with peanut butter in the middle.
What's your go-to gaming snack, Pierre? I'm converted to like nuts, unsalted nuts, cheeky handful of almonds.
Unsalted. Wow, you're so health conscious, man.
That's right.
You could barely walk here.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of salt when I'm playing Dota. So.
Absolutely. But that lifestyle.
Ooh. Ogre Magi.
Solo Ogre Magi.
He's back.
Yeah, this is one of Solo's best heroes. It really just shows how skilled of a player he is.
10 seconds remaining.
No cover.
I was about to try and go, really? Tell me why.
Yeah, that was a little passive aggressive. But no, Solo's an awesome player. Just Ogre is not a hero that takes a lot of skill to play. Although Solo plays it differently. He walks around with like 3 to 4 salves at a time, and he's just he's a mobile fountain for his team.
Maybe a branch.
Yeah, he doesn't like Ogre has a ton of base regen. He only needs maybe like a clarity, a branch. I don't know. That seems a little too much.
Yeah.
Maybe a smoke. Go for a courier or something in the early game. But you just get level 7, max bloodlust, and you just buff your teammates the rest of the game.
So is that sense? So is Solo going to be spending the majority of this game just being a bloodlust bender?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically how VP plays Ogre, is usually phased around mid lane. Like they usually play dual lane mid with. They used to do sniper. I don't know if sniper is a hero these days, but they always
Sniper Void.
sniper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? We might see a sniper. Who knows?
Sniper's okay versus Coddle.
But Ogre is very good with the Void here. We've been talking about that the Void really lacks damage before, and now he actually gets the Bloodlust, so he gets the extra damage in the Chrono.
Now, I know Jack isn't here, but I have got some kind of Chinese Dota info for you. LGD and all Chinese teams refer to the Ogre Magi as blue fat blades.
Blue Fat.
They've drafted blue fat.
I guess we're not doing Jack's Corner for this.
Could go for a run, but we saw what happened last time.
We should just bring we should just bring Jack's Corner back for the non-China games. I think it should be like
I
a
think
staple.
he's fantastic, dude. I'm only there to kind of say go and stop. He's
10
You had,
seconds.
you had your own flavor to it. You did a great job. You're welcome.
5 seconds remaining.
Cottle and Nick.
We haven't seen a lot of Nyx Assassin. It's actually been kind of passed up a little bit more than I thought it would. And
Same question I was thinking.
when it has been picked, it's been doing very well. That was Day 9 is just beside himself about the 80% win rate of Nyx Assassin. He brings it up every single break.
Yeah.
It's been banned as well a lot of games against teams that usually picks him, or if it's teams that wants to pick this puck or cop mid, then they ban the Nyx, so he can't come there to use mana
5
burn.
seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
the level 1 mana burn in mid, acting as like kind of how we'll probably see Solo play this game.
Actually very smart. It's a way to make yourself useful early on without...
Yeah, that's where Nyx struggles the most, especially as a support. It's when, you know, what does he do from levels 1 to 6?
Yeah.
So big question now. We haven't actually talked. If you look at that most recent ban from LG, is that just pure respect to Lil?
10 seconds remaining.
Is that Enchantress? Am I making? Are my eyes deceiving me?
So it could be, it could be a little, it's probably a little bit of both, as is most everything in Dota. A lot of different variables and moving pieces you gotta look out for. But what it kind of tells to me is that they might want the Nyx and Coddle to be their support duo.
Okay.
And neither of these heroes can deal with an enchant. You ban out that enchant, you don't know about that, and you still use.
And VP have struck the fear of God into them. Previous.
Have VP played offlane edge, or was it only EG?
That was, I think it's only EG that played offlane edge.
5 seconds.
That being said, I think they have played it before, just not at this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't put it past them. They're one of the most versatile.
By the way, Keeper of the Light is not really picked that much either. It's pretty much only Liquid who plays it, right? And this is pretty interesting that they choose it in first two, kind of out of nowhere here.
I mean, we've seen what GH can do with it, right? Okay, I mean, we've seen the impact a Cottle can have. Is it just?
Can be very
is it a
good,
unique
but
case?
it's more about the team as well, that the team played very good around it. They let GH get the space as well, because without farm, Coddle is not that good, so...
I like it against Void.
10
Blind,
seconds.
especially like Void Ogre. You see, we talk about Bloodlust being attack speed
5
and
seconds
allowing him to do
remaining.
more physical damage. Blinding Light's going to be great for that, because no matter how fast you're attacking, you're going to be missing a bunch with that Blinding Light. And you can also use some elements of split push for Coddle, which is great to avoid team fights and find the right team fights when you're up against a Void who has this Chronosphere.
Void's also a hero that can't really kill creeps that easily. Like he's right-clicking creeps down, whereas Coddle just kind of blasts them away, so...
Yeah, if you can get Void to show in lane, you'll know exactly where you can either gank him or stay away from him.
LGD.
And I'm sure you've been asked this question 1,000 times, but
Wow!
never mind. Change of plan, change of topic. Chen shows his face.
Is that the second Chen pick? I think he was picked once during the group session and he lost.
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
0% win rate. right?
VP is a team that's been playing good with Chen before, so...
That's it. So you're a Chen player. I'm a much more mediocre Chen player.
I mean, right now, it's kind of the same thing as Eng, like they banned it. They have Colin and then Nyx probably as support. So then, in that sense, Chen is very good against these heroes.
So I agree. I think laning phase, picking Chen into Coddle and Earthshaker, that's kind of scary.
I think it's more that you just have to make sure that you don't just push blindly into the tower to make them being able to nuke down the creeps. You have to go around the towers to find pickoffs or kills before.
So Chen works really well with Zanking as well, because we're probably going to see the Chen run to the Zanking, and Zanking is going to kill his Caustic and push in the lane constantly, and they're going to be able to dive and apply a lot of pressure, and they don't really need to help out the Void that much. Maybe Ogre is going to start there, give him a head start against Shaker, and then start running between mid and yeah, the safe lane, they're going to collapse.
How would you suggest LGD deal with a lane by saying diving?
It's always a bit tricky, I think, but I would suggest you start there with your 2 supports, and you shut down the Sanking so he can't actually push in the lane in the beginning. And then when Chen comes, you start pushing out the wave. Your carry could also be pretty important here. Like maybe you want a ranged guy that you can eventually leave alone. Maybe a Necrophos again, maybe a Weaver.
Something to stay off the melee creeps.
Kind of, yes. Something that will be hard to kill for the Chen Sanking. And then probably end up having like a true carry from mid lane, like your actual win condition.
Leshrac, core Lesh.
That's a maybe Lesh, right? Or is it like a mid Lesh?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. That hero would definitely struggle. Chen Sanking.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be easier for them to protect him mid than it is to protect him in the safe lane because of the Sanking. So,
especially with Nyx kind of floating around mid, backing him up. One thing that I would suggest for LGD, starting with the supports in the safe lane to help with the Sanking, Caudle can just blast the wave over and over and keep that wave pushed out. Yeah. So as long as, Sanking is going to get his farm for sure, but you're not at risk of dying to the Chen, and that's like the big strategy right now is their supports aren't
LGD's
Chen creep. So they just need to eliminate any opportunities for Lil to set up those. And then as the game progresses and they get levels and they start getting items, I think Chen will start to fall off.
I agree. I also think the issue with Chen in general is that he comes with his creep and then you kind of just run away from that creep and then he sits there.
He takes advantage of that.
He kind of just sits there and he doesn't really achieve anything. He doesn't get any experience. So when he starts attacking a creep, like if he starts farming jungle, then you can contest him. And he's kind of like, he doesn't really have a catch. He's hard to pull off, I think, these days. But
and it's okay, they're attacking a hero you know and love. What's happening here? Defend him.
Well, there is a reason why I haven't played it in a long time as well, and I actually love the hero, but I feel he's a bit too weak, and it's mostly because of the ultimate right now as well, that it's been nerfed a lot. So it's 160 or 180 seconds on the first level, 160.
It's
and then it's like too long. It's way too long.
You might not even want to skill it, to be honest. I don't even know if it's worth it.
Probably.
But
so what rounds this out then? What's the cherry on top of this?
Maybe you're gonna see Sniper actually. I don't think it's that bad.
Sure. Hero, I like it. Sniper up against Troll. Stay far away. Pretty good against Leshrac too. That headshot interaction, like up, mini stuns. They don't actually.
It's like slow 100%.
A dazed effect. Is that what you call it?
They just slow 100%. I think. They just
still moving.
Yeah.
Venom
Man. Oh, Venom.
All right.
It's gonna be a right-click Venomancer for sure.
That's also a pretty good pick, I'd say.
I like it. Lots of vision. Leshrac has a pretty immobile, especially when he wants to be running around on top of you with his 2 AoE ground spells. Will not be able to do that with Venom.
Guys, I'm hearing vibes from you that you thinking we might be seeing Virtus Pro continue on the main stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Positivity then surrounding Virtus Pro, at least here outside Seattle. It's beautiful. Sun is rising even further into the sky, and we're having a fantastic time. I don't quite understand how this is. So let's go head over to your casters, though, and we'll jump into another game of the Don'ts.
Lumi in game 1, our panel didn't believe in the Crystal Maiden, didn't stop VP then. Now they pick Chen. Some questions, some heads being scratched. Will it stop them this time? These guys are the masters of the hero challenge. They seem to win with everything. They did it at the summit. They're busting out not quite different picks every single game, but they're certainly not afraid to pull something out of their bag.
Different heroes, but it's same playstyle. They're going to go at you fast and hard, and I think that's going to be the name of the game, right? Chen, something that the panel touched on is the fact that you could grab creep and just send it to heroes like Keeper of the Light, Nyx Assassin. What are they going to do when there's a Centaur running at you? Let's not forget that Leshrac mid is going to be Maybe's hero, and he's normally very good on the hero, but what does he do when a Centaur runs behind him instead of gank? I feel like this Chen, even though perhaps it's not the best hero in the current meta, very, very good in this game.
Could be the dream game for 11, though. It's already, 3 melee heroes. You've got the Chen army as well, so Echo Slams aplenty could abound if he can get a good start. We did see an Earthshaker go off yesterday and just dominate from the off lane for XXS, but that was against an Ember Spirit. This time, going to be facing up against a Void and an Ogre, both of whom are a lot better at trading blows with the Shaker early. So unless he gets help, I'm not sure he's going to have that explosive start.
And looks like he's going to get scouted by warding into the enemy jungle as well.
So too will the donkey. Always a risky business type of game when you're up against Lil and your courier. So I'm not sure if we'll see him try to snipe it as the Chen, more commonly on some of his other more traditional roaming supports, the melee bruisers.
Forgive me as I talk a little bit about the Somnus or maybe Leshrac. They have played it 3 times in the group stage, 100% win rate on the hero. Here's the thing, they always play it with a save. Twice with the Oracle, 1 time with the Chronosphere on his ally. And the idea is to allow maybe to just go in and just not worry and just dish out as much damage as possible. Always goes for the Bloodstone first to extend his damage and as well as survivability. This game though, not only does he have to deal with an early game Chen roams, but also a ton of burst damage coming out from Virtus Pro. It's definitely one of their comfort heroes. I just don't know whether this is the game to do it.
And we're going to see the Venomancer plop down in mid. So normally when the Venos run nowadays, it's as a core and as a safe lane core. Probably Artesian EG, the player that most fans are familiar with running the hero, but they're going to mix it up. They're going to put him against the Lesh, so it is a 2v2 showdown here, at least early. VP already applying pressure top. They're going to make the move here on the Keeper of the Light, trying to punish him out. He doesn't have the extra moves, but he could be in danger. One more auto attack.
Creeps it out!
They
Not like this.
Yao! Oh, Yao is not going to be happy with them, I'll tell you that one.
Well, you can talk to your teammates, but the creeps don't respawn well. Back in the mid lane, Venomous Gales flies through against Maybe. He's taking a ton of damage. Very low base armor all the way on. We're going to work now under the tower, but it's not going to be enough. Deny coming out from Victoria. Still a win here for VP, but not getting the experience from that kill.
Yeah, good save there, but it shows you a weakness of the Lesh. He is extremely squishy. And Nyx did not have a point in the stun. He went for the mana burn early just to harass, and as a result, had no way to blunt that VP aggression. So great shot calling, identifying that there was an opening where normally, if a Nyx had saved the skill point or potentially just grabbed the stun, there wouldn't be.
The silver lining out here for LGD is the fact that the Shaker is getting a 1v1 matchup. Like you mentioned, Void is still going to win that matchup, just trades better, but you know, as an offlane Shaker, all you care about is, you know, a couple of last hits.
If not win it, you at least shouldn't lose it as bad as Ember, because you know, you get hit by the Enchant Totem, you can time walk off some of the damage. You have, you know, you're just better at trading in general as well with the bash.
Yep. Notice that he doesn't have a single point in vision just yet. Just using the Enchant Totem early on just gives you so much more of an edge. If it's a true 1v1, then you can just kind of last it and deny.
They'll need him to come up big because the rest of the lanes are struggling. The first blood happening early top. Ame, only 6-2 here, not exactly farming up a storm. So at the same time, Ramsey's not doing particularly well, but of course Ame is getting help, whereas at least for now, looks like Ramses has lost his. VP are just going to stick in the 2v2 setup top. Wondering if the Chen is going to make a move at some point. Like, do you see Lil leaving this top lane, or do you just keep on constantly pressuring the Keeper of the Light early?
If he's leaving the top lane, he's probably going to go mid for a gank, but I think if he's, you know, calling a place home, it's probably going to be the top lane for now. You have a very easy camp to access any big creeps you might need, and you're putting a ton of pressure on this Troll Warlord as well as the Keeper of the Light.
Trading the experience, at least for now, with Pasha. Not farming the jungle, just constantly parked and showing himself top. Seems they're content with slowing Ame down, as opposed to worrying too much about trying to get the kills. No one continues to hold mid, already 17 CS for him, and now we will see the move. Solo's gonna, at least initially, rotate off of the lane. Perhaps considers a different setup here. 11 might be the hero that he looks to zone out. Now the Earthshaker could be in trouble as Solo comes in. He's going to start things off with the Ignite. They use the stun. If they get a single bash, 11 actually no TP. They don't need to hold any stuns. They might be able to kill him off here. The Time Walk's still on cooldown for 5 seconds time. He does have the boots advantage and rings around the trees. Not often you see a Shaker get away, but somehow the Stretch Armstrong stun. Time walking forward, they're going to need that bash to get this kill. 11 keeps on juking, but Ramsey's cutting him off.
The bash!
Finally gets it and drills him. Did not think he would be in range there for the Fire Blast, but just barely clipped him.
I wonder if he would have survived if he just like walked straight home, you know? Like he did do quite a bit of jukes in the jungle, although...
I think probably, yeah.
I mean, Ramsey was doing a very excellent job, like body blocking as he's hitting, walking in front of him, so it would have been tough either way. Good gank here from Solo, and he takes away the rune as well, so very good.
Haste rune grabbed, and you know, something you touched on, these melee bruisers, generally the main hero's snagging runes, and Solo has been doing that. Grabs the haste, he's grabbed 2 bounties, also finding the kills. He got a double damage rune earlier, so constantly pressuring them is
Oh,
See
they're gonna
Lil
gank Lil in the jungle.
taking over this LGD jungle, but it might be an overextension by him. The double stun comes through. Lil does not have a TP scroll either, so maybe running him down. The Edict works its magic, and LGD get back on the board, finally getting a kill here and trying to turn these lanes around.
Very good ward to actually scout out the rotation of your jungle. Normally, you don't put this, the other one, deeper into the jungle. Because, you know, Chen is going to be taking that path a lot of times, and they're actually going to be able to pick up a kill. So earlier you were comparing the Venomancer to something that, you know, EG has been playing a lot, but the mid-Veno builds it quite differently. Maxes the Gale here as you fire off, and there's just so much harass coming in. But looks like the harass will get turned the other direction as the Nyx Assassin rotates in.
Yeah, not a single point in the Plague Wards yet.
Yep. This is a kill build, you know, you go Gale, you get your ult at 6, and then once you land the Gale, you're just gonna get a kill. So much right-click damage with the Poison Sting as well. But immediate smoke from LGD from the mid lane after shrining up, I think they're baiting them in, or perhaps just a bad smoke, it seems.
Looks like no one is rushing the Midas here. Already grabbed the Gloves of Haste, so wants to play a bit more of a proper carry Veno. Is, as you mentioned, really just trying to be the big damage dealer through his hero in these upcoming fights. So LGD sensing something's not right. Yao is going to TP out. Pasha was hunting for him, but evades the Scorpion, gets away to safety. Meanwhile, a lot of key ultimates about to come online. Echo Slam very close for 11. We see Ramses now acquiring the Chronosphere. The chase is on top as VP dive behind the tower. The double Big Bird strat goes in. Ame getting burrowed initially, but the tornadoes are on cooldown, and now the turnaround comes. They want to catch him out, but Pasha somehow jukes the stun. They're going to need a batch here, and they do get it at the buzzer. Ame securing the kill.
Meanwhile, as we saw on the big screen, Chronosphere permitted for the Earthshaker kill. Trying to defend himself, but still not level 6 just yet, and Shaker also goes down. So, fairly similar start for VP as game 1. Might not be getting as much out of the lane stage, but LGD definitely very far behind right now.
So, interesting choice by Lil here. You know, one thing that we have seen with a lot of the recent Chen picks is 11 goes in on Ramses, keeps on hitting him with the totem. The Fissure comes out. He's just not got the level 6 yet. Otherwise, I think that's actually a kill, but just a bit preemptive with the initiation. But yeah, the Chen is going Midas as well. So, you know, where the Chen picks in theory fall off a little bit, or even a lot later on, Lil is going to try to stay relevant. And, you know, some of the recent buffs this hero has gotten, Lumen, you can talk about them more. A lot of them are around his late game. Yeah. Especially with the talents.
Well, we're going to see an initiation going on maybe on the mid lane here. The Impale will miss, and as a result, Somnus is going to die. He's going to try to take down no one with him, but not enough damage.
Victoria wrapping around. He sees 2 low HP heroes. Solo gets out as well. Nobody dying. They just need that bit of follow-up. Would have loved to see 11 there, but sadly his...
Mid lane Gale happening again. Victoria pops the spike and just beats her TP out. This mid-Veno is so threatening whenever he just lands a Gale on you.
Forcing him out of the lane. Meanwhile, Pasha up top does get hit by the axes. Ame looking for the bash, still not getting it. Will he continue pursuit on Pasha? Does burrow away to safety as Ramses worms his way through the trees. The Echo Slam finally online, and they do bring maybe down for this. No Radiant Vision of this rotation, but Ramses senses something's not right. Time walks back to safety. He should be out of there. They'll steal a small collection of creeps. But meanwhile, VP are making their own move as they smoke up. The Chen is going to join here with the Ogre. And they're going to look to make this committed dive into the enemy woods.
Oh, they're going to see this Troll Warlord farming in the woods.
Ame in danger, perhaps. The whirling melee axes are on cooldown. He might need that bit of evasion here to get out safely, and now getting slowed down, taking some decent nuke damage, gets the axes off again, but won't make it up to the high ground. Lil nukes him down.
Can they catch anyone on the way back? Fissure trying to block people off. They just went for some Chen creeps. Don't feel like they kill any hero.
LGD are just feeling very immobile right now.
Yep.
They seem a bit slow to react. With the Veno Gale coming out, often heroes can't get away. Meanwhile, VP, while they have some clunky heroes on paper, are making them feel rather nimble in practice.
Gale hits on the mid lane again, and maybe just uses a very defensive stun to just get the Veno off of him.
He's going to be losing these raindrops soon.
Yeah.
Now the rotation comes in. VP looking for the flank
They just
play.
don't stop.
They're bringing 2 cores to the mid lane, and the ward gets dropped out. That is going to cancel this out, but now, well, Ame wants to chase no one. They're looking to cinch the news from the rear.
It's coming.
Solo's coming in with the help of the creep army. Going to connect here. Maybe he tries to juke, but they get off the slow. Now the follow-up clap can come through, potentially. Stays out just out of range. Now the Hadouken does.
Okay, raindrop does block it.
Does block it. Needs to get to the shrine quickly. There's going to be another one cooling down in a few seconds, but Lumi, they had 2 cores sitting mid during that time just to try and dodge the gank. They bring 11 towards top. LGD are just all over the place with these lanes, and they are getting punished for it in terms of farm.
Yeah, LGD just feels like a plumber in a bad pipe in a bathroom. It's just like there's so many leaks, and they're just going everywhere to put out flames, and it's just not working.
What kind of plumbing experiences have you had?
I'm a bad plumber.
You're seriously bad. You've got flames coming out everywhere. I don't think it's quite that bad for LGD yet, but it might get there at this rate.
Maybe he does have a haste rune. He definitely wants to get a solo kill, but the spidey senses of no one, he dodges away. Now the conversation after the game 1 was that, from the panel, was that, you know, they need to play faster. LGD does. Do you think they have adapted?
It definitely hasn't worked out that way in practice. I don't think Keep It Light is that type of hero, but mid lane, Victoria looking to finally set up something, and they will get this key Venno kill, taking him down mid. Went for that Midas, so a bit squishier than Venno might be at this stage, and does get punished for it, but that said, he has already started using the Midas. The Chen Midas about to be picked up here as well, so even if VP are giving up deaths here and there, could still find some openings. As Yao lurks behind the tower, they're trying to farm up 11's Blink Dagger. It's a critical juncture for LGD. Close to the Blink, tons of AoE parked behind this tower. Do VP dare commit? Solo's going to wrap around it into the waiting arms of Yao, who's revving up the blast, and following that through with the Enchant Totem, he finishes it emphatically with a dunk.
Good vision. They had this ward, and they just, you know, saw the Ogre Magi walking up on his own, and was able to pick up the kill. Very nicely done.
How much pressure do you feel LGD are under, Lumi? There is a double Midas already completed.
Yeah, for sure. A ton of pressure to answer your question. And, you know, they can't really get out of the map as easily because there are Chen creeps everywhere. Venom wards are scouting out ganks left and right. And you can make the argument that Virtus Pro are scaling better into the late game as well, especially with that double Midas. That double Midas, especially with Venomancer's level 10 plus 30% experience talent, is going to put him to level 25 so very quickly. Ame forced to TP out. Burrow Strike will be here on time.
Hesitated for just a second. He gets the bash, but not enough damage pumped out there. Pasha scoring the kill in his own blink. Only 700 gold off. They are going to send Victoria roaming this way. Perhaps he can find no one who's trying to farm up from the safety of the high ground, but maybe looks to close the gap. It's another Victoria special coming in with the help of the Pulse Nova. They score the kill. Desperately needed momentum here from LGD. All of it coming from the Victoria engine.
Yeah, you know, Day9 has been really on the case of the, what is it, 80% win rate on Nyx Assassin.
It was like, 79.8 something.
And this is a game where we're seeing why he's actually doing so well. Think of a level 4, or sorry, a 4 position Sanking.
Ramses, he's been scouted out here. The blink's available. No Echo Slam on 11.
Yeah.
Just gonna retreat.
So comparing to a 4 position Sanking to a 4 position Nyx, right? Even if you have a good laning stage with a Sanking, you still need to farm for that Blink Dagger. And that means you're just off the map for like, 5-6 minutes doing nothing for your team. But the difference is here, Nyx Assassin, as soon as he turns 6, he just gets to walk around the map and start setting up kills. And as they say that here, Victoria invised up again. He's just waiting for 9Posh to walk away from the tower vision.
Can just look to carapace one of those caustic hits, potentially get this kill. So Pasha lurks back at the tower, suspicious that something is not right because Leshrac has died enough that if he's sitting there, he likely does have help.
Yeah, there's no way that...
By the way, this ward that LGD have top has been instrumental in stemming the bleeding. It has scouted at least 4 or 5 VP movement stop.
That's what gave them the Ogre kill earlier. They saw the Ogre walking around.
It just dodged the Void gank initially. It's since dodged any sort of, follow-up sticking around. Solo kind of rambled up that way. Lil was doing the same. That ward right now is the 6th man for LGD.
Right. I mean, you normally don't ward there as a Dire. It's such a defensive ward, but in this game, LGD knows that they're running at you non-stop. And that ward is probably one of the best in business to kind of stay alive. And again, Victoria, as soon as that Invis is ready to go, he's going to probably pop it and just be on the map again. Smoke Gang coming out this time here from LGD.
It's maybe again. They just keep on trying to punish the Leshrac. Constantly being pursued in the mid lane. And then Chronos there with the help of the double damage. And Ramses can probably do the solo Gale coming through. Poison Nova committed 11 there looking for the trade, but Ramses just walks it off. Now Victoria rumbling in, wants to get onto no one here. They're going to need a stun. He connects on one, but Lil looking to salvage this fight. Follow up from Pasha as they engage forward. Ame going to go down. It's just one to the next here. Ramses jumping in. He is not going to be pushed away by a simple Carapace. Now Solo giving a bit of clubbing action. 11 though, backing away, still has the Echo Slam. He's already used the Blink defensively, and then the bash comes through. The Fissure from low ground. Dodge away! Ramses pulling out the jukes, breaking ankles as he time walks over the Nyx stun, scores the kill. They just never had that crucial opening for 11 to turn the fight, Lumi. Too chaotic, too much of, 3v1, 2v1, 1v1 type engagements. He just couldn't find a good Echo Slam.
Yeah, Shaker is really good as a hero when the slows are, when the fights, are slow and methodical, and this is the opposite of that. It's just VP running at you, you don't have time to set up. And one of the conversation that the panel was also having is that Keeper of the Light is a hero that needs a little bit of time and a lot of farm to come online. Yao is getting no room to get that farm. Moving forward, this bathroom is really looking like it's on fire.
It's on fire, there's leaks everywhere.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for LGD right now.
What is the strategy at this point for LGD? Like, how do you see their overall game plan? Are they a 5-man pushing lineup? Are they a turtle farm lineup? Are they trying to sneak a Roshan? Like, what are some of the key points as far as how they get back in the game strategy-wise? They're not actually down really at all in the net worth department, but it does feel like all the momentum is VPs right now.
Right, they're not down like economically wise right now, but Double Midas is one thing. The heroes that scale so well in Virtus Pro is another. But to answer your question, LGD, they are definitely a slowdown and farm. Dodge ganks, get off pickoffs on your own with your Shaker as well as Nyx Assassin. Get that Bloodstone online on the Leshrac. Leshrac with the Bloodstone, once you get going, you get a ton of kills. He can be a big factor in these kind of mid and late game team fights.
Better to have the deaths now before the Bloodstone comes out, and maybe...
That's one way to think of it.
Is close.
Yeah.
Now that said, Leshrac is not the escape artist that many other Bloodstone carriers are, like Storm Spirit, for example.
Right, but and here's the thing, it's something I brought up earlier, and what we just witnessed in the last fight,
right?
That no save. No Oracle in this lineup, as we do see the initiation into the jungle. Nyx Assassin does get off the nice spike against 3, but will go down. And that invites the push on the mid lane. The tower is going to get killed pretty easily.
Low on mana here on Ramses, though, so it doesn't seem to matter. He is unfazed as he muscles down the tier 1 mid.
Yep.
The Midas is slowly kicking in for VP. More so in experience than in gold, at least for now, but still waiting to see when that next offensive will come from LGD. They just constantly seem to be reacting to VP's movements, warding defensively, getting ganked under their towers, just biding their time as finally we'll see some recall action here.
I like this.
Yeah, can bring in 11, and this could be an opening.
Yeah, Blink Echo Slam to start the fight, but
Pasha would be a big kill. He shows himself with Sandstorm. Could be the opening. 11 lunging in. Oh!
The hesitation. 11 didn't want to use his Echo Slam, but
I think he wanted to go for the Fissure, like the Enchant Totem Fissure kill.
Right.
And save the Echo for a follow-up.
This is no time to save, man.
Greed or hesitation, whatever it was.
Yeah, just
awesome
go.
There.
Well, easy for us to say, but maybe he felt like he needed to take the risk. I do want to point out the nice bit of synergy here. The panel does mention the Bloodlust helping the Faces Void quite a bit early on. Just with simply the Mask of Madness as well as Bloodlust, he fights really well. And Chen has also gotten a Frost Ogre creep. Could put the Frost Armor to take away the disadvantage of that Mask of Madness as well. He becomes a kind of a pretty sick carry at this point, just with the help of his allies. Pretty nice.
This siege is risky business for LGD. There is so much counter initiation available for VP. Pasha lurking in the trees with the blink, Epicenter at the ready, not to mention the Void that you talked about, and the potential bonus damage he could bring to bear. So we will see LGD get nervous. They back away. Pasha being off the map is doing wonders for VP this game in terms of scaring the bejesus out of LGD.
So Chen is close to finishing the Aghanim Scepter really soon. I didn't think we are gonna see an Axe Chen at TI, but
we're gonna see a lot more than that at this rate.
We're gonna see, you know, big creeps being dominated. What's your favorite one here that you think will help out VP?
I mean, the plus HP is always huge.
Yeah, plus HP is great.
From the Rock Golem.
I wonder if we're gonna see some of the newer ones.
What's your personal favorite?
Oh, I like my Black Dragon. You know, you gotta rain fire over kids.
Setting up on the bottom lane, they want to make the go on Pasha at the same time that Lil is trying to TP out. He gets caught. The Sand King might die as well. Very low, 11. Not quite able to finish him off, and did commit the Echo for that.
Yep. I'm not sure whether they changed Sun Echo into Illuminate into Fissure. If you had all of that, it should be a kill, but I did not see how that fight broke out.
I believe he interrupted a little bit with the Burrow Strike away, but in any case, not able to finish him off. Good news for LGD, though. They get that first Bloodstone charge for Maybe, and now Maybe can take this tier 1 down as well. But the TP reaction coming in from Pasha. Wants to try and hold the line here.
Is he going to let that channel Epicenter?
Thinking about it. Don't think he can solo kill Maybe, though, at 1800 health. He'll certainly need backup as VP start to posture near the Roshan pit. TP coming in to the south side from that void, and no one gets scouted out here. Actually, Victoria as well. He is forced to Carapace to push away from 11.
Chronosphere
on forward. He catches out 2. They need the follow-up damage. Bring in the Poison Nova. It will start quickly bringing down the Nyx Assassin. Tries for the stun. Down he goes. Decisive play from Ramses there. VP grab 2.
Ramses has a double damage rune. That really made short work of 2 heroes with a Chrono. Very nicely done. Just before that kill, I was going to say, look, this is exactly the pacing LGD wants to have. You know, just a very slow game. You set up a gank with a Shaker, you set up another with a Nyx, and then you just let your Bloodstone Leshrac to be there to soak up all of those kills. But VP answers back very quickly. And we are getting to a point where all of these kind of farming items that VP has purchased is about to, you know, sink in. The Ramses Lincolns is about to be finished, so he will really start to hit hard and then start to build damage without worry. The Midas has been running for a long time now. Hurricane Pike being finished on no one. And of course the Aghanim Scepter I talked about on Chen is very, very close to being finished. I think VP will give it 5 more minutes or so, and then the pressure is back on.
Yeah, they're definitely going to hit a huge power spike with that round of items that you talked about. And LGD try to prevent them from getting to that point. They move in with 11, Echo Slam in 1 second. They break the smoke. They find Ramses to start the fight. Huge takedown if they can get pushed away. But
what a force step!
Pasha almost finishes off 3. Ends up dying, but will bail out his Faceless Voice. Victoria's low. Brought down. So much poison damage. Also, Maybe now getting caught out. They finally commit the Echo.
Force step again!
Force step gaming pulls them out again. LGD have to run.
No one playing out of his mind that initial Force Staff was his, pushing the Void away from a certain depth. That was a perfect chain sign coming out from LGD. I think Victoria perhaps hesitated just a slight second, and again, got just punished for it. The secondary Force Staff, just as good.
God, that Epicenter was huge as well. Breaks up the chain of initiation, triple hero stun, then they get the Venomancer, damage ticking in the whole while, and nobody can fight at that point. Like, once VP just dropped that stuff, Lumi, that was a fight without Poison Nova, a fight without Chronosphere, and I would say VP still won that fight.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to watch it one more time. The smoke breaks from, and then they react so quickly. Venomancer pushes them away. Look at the hesitation on Nyx, and then the Sand King comes in. Good thing, I guess, silver lining here is that the Leshrac did die relatively early into the fight, giving the rest of the team a big heal with his Bloodstone. Meanwhile, in the woods here, Solo, driving Ya away as a Roshan. Gonna get claimed here by Virtus Pro.
VP, the numbers might say they're only slightly ahead, but the momentum has been consistently theirs. At 23 minutes, towers are falling. They went for the greedy double Midas. They've made it work for them as they first ensured that they were winning these lanes before they grabbed it, and now their team fight just continues to ramp up heading later into the game. Lil has his Aghanim Scepter online, so those bigger creeps are available to buff up the army, to buff up the 5-man. You've got the Bloodlust.
Sand King links in mid lane, Burrow Strike. They got the Venom on the back line. 11 in a lot of trouble. No Force Staff to get him out of there. He's going to spend his go. He thinks he'll die. He's going to farm a little bit more. Buys a recipe before he dies. All right, not too bad here for Shaker.
You say not too bad. I say another death.
Oh.
LGD constantly on the back foot, and Ramses looking for more. Here come the bashes. There goes the kill. Again, VP, every gank is a success. Now they TP in Ramses bottom. With the Aegis, he's unafraid, and they can't even take this tower. 3 heroes from VP marshalling the defense. Victoria We'll grab a bounty run. He's stalking Pasha, but really seemed like he wants to go for a kill. And who do you go on as an Ix? Lil's got an Aghanim Scepter. The Ogre's naturally extremely tanky. There's just not any easy pickoffs at this stage, Lumi.
I don't think there are pickoffs anymore because the way that VP is going to play now is the Chen game. We're going to group up and send 5 at you. Nyx Assassin very good when you're kind of finding 1 or 2 in the jungle. You set up a gank for your team, but that is not the playstyle that Virtus.pro will have for the remainder of the game.
So with this Aegis, if you're in VP's shoes, any sense of urgency, any particular objectives that your eyes are on?
You wait for your Chronosphere to be back online. You either go for a smoke or a frontal push. Either way is fine. I think Virtus.pro is ahead enough where they could do a frontal push and LGD cannot repel. Of course, if you just get a smoke gank and it works, that would also be great.
Big opportunity for LGD. They actually wait. They let VP get back to their tower. They see Ramses. They know what's behind him, or at least have an idea of it. They're looking for this flank, but they've been hesitant this game. We saw it earlier with 11 not dropping the Echo immediately. We're even seeing it now where they try to find that perfect opening, and well, they do. Chen going down early in the fight, but at the same time, a 3-hero burrow. Pasha can come back with the Epi into the Chrono. Still 30 seconds, though, so Ramses won't have it yet. Gets the bashes, scores the kill, Shaker down. LGD now on the run, and this is where things can get ugly as Pasha continues to try to find that opening. Still waiting. Still waiting. Gets the burrow. That's 2. About to be a 3rd. The bashes come through. VP routing LGD. Indecision is the name of the game for them.
They have to be decisive. They have to see the Void. They have to go in and kill the Void. There's just no other way. This Void is dealing so much damage. And it's hard. It's hard.
He has an Aegis.
Yeah, he has an Aegis. He has the Chen Hand of God. He has defensive Force Staff on his team. There's so many saves on the side of Virtus.pro. And unfortunately, LGD can't say the same for their own heroes. And it's like you mentioned earlier, you know, it's 1K goal lead, 2K goal lead. But to me, this game is, for LGD, they're so far behind.
It's rapidly getting out of hand. And then you just look at some of the matchups heading later. Like, we'll take another look at this fight first. See how it unfolded, where they committed everything for a Chen, got caught by a quick 3-hero burrow, second time that Pasha has managed to counter-initiate and interrupt LGD. Again, they're fighting in between a Shrine and a Tier 2, and a Tier 1 in the mid lane. So there's so many ways for VP to cut them off and rejoin this fight, even if they weren't already in position. And you can just see the patience of Pasha, waiting not just for that first kill or the second kill, but looking for the follow-ups as well. But back to the action where Victoria is in the back lines, as they have caught out Old 11 in the trees. Pasha pursuing him out. The Shaker's in danger.
Oh, he's gone.
Tries to make it away, but where are you going? Where are you going, my friend? Echo Slam available. The burrow comes through. They're kiting him. They control him nicely, and they score another kill. And now Triceratops coming into play as the Ancient Thunderhides also join the squad. VP on the warpath. No signs of a slowdown.
Yeah, they're going to just group up and look to finish the game. What is your defense, LGD? Shaker dead for 30 seconds, does have Echo Slam, but 30 seconds with this Void hitting your buildings, Burrow Strike coming through on the backline. They see Yao, Yao's gone.
This Void is massive with not only the Mask of Madness, the Bloodlust, he's also got the Frenzy from the Ancient Thunderhides, making it hit like a truck right now as he chews through the Melee X. It feels like Ramses is already into the late game. How can LGD answer? Their base is crumbling. VP take one lane. They're looking for the second.
They could go mid. Are they going to give them the respect to the Shaker?
Back away here. Will Victoria try to pursue? Oh, it looks like they get out safely, at least for now. As a team, they stagger back.
Oh, they see maybe.
Looking for the flank, gets caught out. He's forced to throw that. Yule's out defensively.
Blink. No.
Decent stuff from the Nyx. They need the Echo Slam, though. They need the Shaker, and he's in the base. Why is maybe out so far? LGD are not playing as a team. It's what got them to this point. But it won't get them any further because they're dying one by one. Now 11's turn. Caught out by Ramses. Getting pummeled by the Hammerhead Sharkman. It chases forward onto Yao. They keep on spamming the chat wheel. Charging after buildings. VP, head full of steam. Second lane of Brax is theirs. The series is theirs. They have slain LGD.
They made it look easy. This time, you know, they got off the fast start as they always do, and then scaled it back. Patience with double Midas. And then as soon as they got enough items for that push, the game was over.
I think as we look at VP and where they might go in this tournament, Lumi, Can't question their drafts anymore. They made the Crystal Maiden work, they made the Chen work, and they didn't just happen to win with those heroes. Those heroes were integral in the strategy in both games.
Now before we give too much credit to Virtus Pro, I felt like LGD didn't respond well. You know, Pano says we need to speed up the game. We need to make sure that we don't get run over, but they just got ran over.
They absolutely did. We'll see the team shaking hands here now. So, of course, LGD not out of it yet. They're going to drop down to the lower bracket. And they'll have a shot in the BO3s there, but VP feeling it now. They've definitely had a strong cheering section behind the Russian commentators. And I have to say, Balat, he was on his feet. He was really excited for that performance. So, VP now the last Western hope in the upper bracket, but still tons of stiff competition ahead. And LFY perhaps will have a shot to avenge their brothers from LGD.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Western hope. This is supposed to be the odd year where you know, a Western Dota team is going to win TI, but right now, 3 teams from China.
But the Alliance tier 3, when you had to ban a certain number of heroes, but they would always get something. That's kind of Team Liquid.
That's one of the coolest things about competition is it's like a conversation. Your opponent is going to get to do something, right? They are going to be able to get one of the heroes they want. Their team will be strong at some aspects, and it's about trying to figure out where yours slot in. I mean, talk to me about these first picks. Team Secret, Highlight Eye, Rubik, and Spirit.
I mean, Rubik is just, that's like their Secret's own version of the Coddles and stuff. Yapster plays a really good Rubik. And they've noticed that Rubik can actually play as a 4, like these other, like Sanking, these heroes with a stun. Rubik is one of the few range heroes, like with the same insta-stun.
He just he steals the other melee hero's stun, and then he's got 2 disables, right?
Exactly.
Infinite disables for the first pick.
Yeah, so he might actually be a bit of an underrated 4 right now. And then, like, the Spirit Breaker is supposed to be good against Coddle. But, I don't know, when GH plays the Coddle,
it's like a different hero.
It just seems to work out every time, right?
I imagine, so both teams, Liquid dropping down to the losers bracket, Secret winning from the best of ones. I believe that's even, and so they actually do a coin flip to determine who gets first pick. So I would imagine Team Liquid, they can either choose first pick, second pick, Radiant, or Dire. I imagine they chose first pick. Secret then choosing Radiant. Next game, I imagine will be switched up, but and then if there is a game 3, they'll do another coin flip.
Interesting.
That will determine who gets first pick, because that is the power pick. I'm pretty sure if Puppy had first pick in this situation, he would have picked Coddle for himself as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can deny Wisp, Coddle, and Earthshaker.
Because that is what IG did. They didn't take the Coddle for themselves, but they got the Shaker. They got the first pick, then they took the Shaker. And the other game that they beat them was when they picked up this Night Stalker. They gave the Coddle away and took the Night Stalker. But now we see the Liquid are they're preparing for this already. So they're banning out this Night Stalker and Nyx. Just so even when they get their Coddle, they know it'll be at its full potential. Because these 2 heroes kind of make Coddle's life a bit harder. But now they kind of I think they get what they want here, Liquid.
Now Bristleback has, I believe this is the 3rd time in 4 total games that Mind Control will be on Bristleback. And a lot of his success comes down to how well he's been able to do in lane. If he has the great start, we saw that was the game that Team Liquid was able to have a very strong win at yesterday. But when he doesn't have farm, he's almost like a dud hero. Doesn't even exist in a lot of the fights.
Yeah, but with the Coddle and combination in lane, it's pretty difficult to shut down the Bristleback, so I imagine he's going to have a pretty decent laning phase.
I actually thought about this Necro though, because this is something I remember back in the day, back like a few months ago, when we were playing against Team Secret, everyone was playing this Coddle Bristle, and their counter to it is the Necrophos, because you build up so many wands against this hero, this Bristleback, and just if you ever just go into your second skill as a Necrophos, all you need is a wand, and you're set. You can sustain that lane alone. So it kind of negates a lot of what Coddle Bristle does. So that's one lane where they can't go, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Coddle can give so much mana to Bristleback, I mean, Necrophos, the fact that what is the multiplier on his self-heal when he uses his second ability? It's like 2x, 3x?
I don't know what it is, but when he uses it, he'll use the magic stick as well, and he'll be full.
And heal, yeah. He goes from pretty much like 5% to full.
The weird thing, though, is like, Necrophos should really not be a good hero against Coddle. With the mana leak and then like high nukes early game. Because I think what Liquid are going to end up doing here is they're going to basically tri-lane it. And like then they'll do that for a couple of minutes, and like if you're not careful, like level 1 Necrophos, like You don't got no stick, you don't have no W, like
Well,
you're not doing anything.
We'll just
And
have to
then-
wait and see, Mr. Pilot X. I don't know if I agree with you.
Yeah, I was on the kind of also.
Because we'll see how, like, Secret are gonna pick a hero, right? And then Liquid are gonna get one counter matchup here.
I'm sure Necrophos will get a little help. I don't think he'll be left alone.
No, they'll try.
Left alone.
They'll try lane versus try lane, but they have quills and they have a 200 nuke.
Also, we talked a bit about or we saw the miracle video there, and now we have a 10K here. So you know.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
What I think Secret can do, and to address what you were discussing as well, maybe their try-retry is a little bit weaker. But what they can have Rubik kind of help Necrophos and just have them survive that lane, and then Puppey on the Spear Breaker can roam between the other lanes and force rotations out of Team Liquid's trial.
Yeah.
So picking up this Queen of Pain, a very aggressive hero on lane who can blink onto his opponent, hit him with the Shadow Strike, and with the Spear Breaker charge in, it'll be difficult for Team Liquid's solo heroes to exist on lane.
Mid one, 99% chance going to be on Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, again, I've never heard a mid player not like playing Queen of Pain. It's nice, deals a lot of damage, great escapes.
This is Phantom's, right?
I think Secret are kind of lacking in tower damage right now. They need a hero to kind of be able to break towers. At some point they're going to have to, and it's Kezu's hero. And I'm not exactly sure which tower hitters he plays. I know he used to play a lot of Abaddon.
I know
back in the day.
Yeah, Abaddon. I've also seen him play some Lone Druid.
Right. Do you think Lone is good here though?
No.
No,
They could
don't feel like it, right?
Furion.
They're still gonna be, yeah.
But they're
Prophet
gonna wait
could
too.
work.
They want a good lane matchup as well, so. But yeah, they're gonna need some build.
They could even do. I mean, I still feel like they could even do offlane Necro or something a little bit out of left field like that.
I feel like they wanna put that Necrophos against the Coddle Bristle.
Certainly, certainly. But then if you know that Coddle and Bristle are going to another lane,
Right.
the other lanes don't. They become 1v1 lanes or 1v2 at the worst. They're not really these traditional offlane versus the tri lane.
Yeah, I got you.
Ursa. Now, where do you think Ursa's going to be fitting into Team Liquid's lineup?
Matoma Man's going to be playing him most likely in the safe lane.
They do switch things up a bit though. We've seen that a few times. The Matoma Man has gone mid with Ursa, but I don't really expect him to go mid with Ursa against Bob, and especially not with this Spear Breaker and potential of Rubik.
This is one of the tougher